Hey, it's Sunday night special emergency edition to the Sunday podcast on the Bill Simmons podcast. As always, on the Ringer Podcast Network, we are brought to you by our presenting sponsor, ZipRecruiter. Having a high sports IQ, it's important. Just look at poor J.R. Smith. They were chanting MVP when he was at the line for game 2 tonight, and the game was in Golden State. Whoops. It turns out a high sports IQ matters. You know what else matters? A high hiring IQ, and not a lot of people have it. That's why you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful technology scans thousands of resumes to find people with the right experience for your job. It's so effective. 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. My listeners can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/BS. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Meanwhile, SeatGeek, the best app for buying and selling tickets to sporting events, concerts, and more. For $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase on any game or sporting event for NBA, NHL, baseball, whatever. Just don't buy tickets to Game 7 of the NBA Finals this year. I'm not sure it's happening. Use promo code BS, and you get $20 off. Download the SeatGeek app or go right to SeatGeek.com. Check out TheRinger.com. Lots of good pop culture stuff up there from the end of last week. We also have the Recapables podcast with Billions, as well as Westworld Recapables. That's up right now. And coming up, we put this podcast up Sunday morning, West Coast time. It was Andy Samberg and Desus and Mero tape between Game 1 and Game 2 of the NBA Finals. But we promised that Sunday night after Game 2, I was going to come back on. We're just going to add to that podcast a little special emergency edition. That's coming up right after our friends from Pearl Jam. All right, it is Sunday night. Nephew Kyle is here. I'm here. Just witnessed the Steph Curry show in Oakland, California. You know what I realized tonight? And I've noticed this when I was in Philly for Game 4. I'm not trying to start trouble with Simmons and Embiid. But I noticed this during the Celtics-Sixers game. Embiid was the favored son in the arena and in the stands and was the one they loved the most. That doesn't mean they didn't love Ben Simmons. It was an unconditional love for Joel Embiid. He's just their guy. He's the process guy. He adopted the process, loves the process, tried to nickname himself the process. It didn't take. When your name is Joel, you don't need a nickname. But anytime he did anything well, in those games, it just brought the crowd an extra level of joy. And I'm not sure every city has a guy like that, but I think some cities do. And, you know, I think Tatum's going to be that guy for the Celtics. You can kind of feel it already. Kyrie was resonating with the fans in an unbelievable way, but I think Tatum will be the guy ultimately. And a lot of it has to do with just the start to finish aspect of the whole thing. You know, when you have the guy from day one and you watch him grow into something special and you feel like you were there the whole time. And you could feel that tonight in Oakland for Game 2. You know, they love Durant. They love Clay. They love Draymond. They love the team. They have great fans. It's a top 5 fan base. They really do affect the game. I thought the MVP chant for J.R. Smith was savage. It made me laugh. I don't think he did anything productive after that chant. I think it actually worked. It got in his head a little bit. But the point is, when Curry's going, that crowd goes to another level, and the atmosphere and the electricity of it. And, you know, he was really special tonight. He made a couple of just outrageous shots and was really feeling it and looked like the Steph from 2015. And he's had flashes of that, and he's certainly, you know, he's one of the best 5 or 6 guys in the league still. But in the finals, I can't really remember him owning a finals game like that. Like, he didn't win the finals MVP in 2015. Iguodala did. 2016, he was hurt. He actually was really good in Game 4, which has become a forgotten game of that 2016 finals because Draymond punched LeBron in the balls at the end of it. But if you watch that game, The Cavs are going all out. They're trying to tie the series, and the Warriors played great. Steph was really good in that game and hit some big shots. And you left that game thinking, oh, the Warriors are going back to back. That's it. Then Draymond gets suspended. The series flips, and you know the rest. Last year just wasn't. It was kind of Durant's team last year in the finals. There was the partnership, but it was really Durant was the alpha dog of that finals and went toe to toe with LeBron and hit the biggest shot of the series and was just playing the best basketball of his life at the perfect time and was seeing everything and was had become the player we'd always wanted him to be. Steph in this finals, it's starting to feel like this is his finals. I was surprised when I looked at the finals MVP odds this morning and Durant was still the favorite to win the finals MVP. I did not think he didn't have like a great game in game two. I wouldn't even say it, or game one. I didn't even think he had a very good game in game one. And Steph was clearly the matchup problem, I think, for the Cavs in this series. You just got to pay attention to him all the time. He can't lapse, can't do anything. And I thought what I saw was Steph he finds these windows where you either forget about him or he's coming off a pick or, this new play that they have where he passes to Jordan Bell or he passes to whatever, who's the other, JaVale McGee, whoever. He passes them on the baseline and it seems like the play's over. And then all of a sudden he's running behind them for the corner three and they pass it through their legs to him. I know they started that play this year. That play is ridiculous. I can't believe it even exists. But it just was like the full peak of the powers. Steph Curry is probably the best shooter we've ever seen. He's finally seems healthy. And he's got the right team around him, the balance of the team as well. I thought Durant was awesome tonight. We left that game. I think every game you kind of look at it and you go, it belongs to somebody, right? Game one was the J.R. Smith game. Probably much to his chagrin. Game two is the Curry game. And I think you when you go through the finals, each game kind of ends up belonging to somebody. And sometimes if it's somebody who's truly great, a couple of the games belong to them. But I felt like game two, this was the Curry game. And when he made that ridiculous fall away moonball heave in the fourth quarter at the end of the shot clock, what was great about it, it was no different than the game one shot he made at halftime. He takes these ridiculous shots and you think they're going in. You think they have a chance. We filmed for the HBO show we're doing. We were filming his pregame shooting routine. And really blowing it out, just like here's what it's like. And he does this runway shot at the end of every shooting routine after he goes through it with the bearded guy, who you know as the bearded guy. And he's in the runway and he's like 40, 45 feet away and he always takes one last shot. And sometimes he makes it. And today he made it and the crowd went nuts. And it seemed like a bad omen for the Cavs when he made that one. And then he came out and just eviscerated them. I thought Durant was awesome as well, and he's going to kind of get relegated to the shadows of it. But the all-around game that he played, the defense that he played on LeBron, they're doing a couple things, and I have no idea if the announcers are talking about this on TV or not, but sorry, I'm taking a swig of water. They are trying to pick LeBron up either full court or at midcourt, and they just don't ever want him to be that comfortable. They want to just kind of be in his chest. They don't want him to have a head of steam. And they are just trying to make it difficult for him. They are trying not to ever have him be that comfortable. Durant is a big reason for that. Durant guarded him a lot in this game. And when he doesn't guard him, then Draymond comes over and he guards him. They're kind of the perfect team to play him. Now, the catch is, it felt like LeBron had a shit game in the arena. It's like, oh man, LeBron doesn't have it tonight. He looks tired. Oh, he's really off. And he ended up with 29 points and 13 assists. So even LeBron's B+ game would be probably the best game of 80% of the players in the league's season. But they did a good job of kind of forcing the other guys to beat them. And, as a Celtics fan, watching Jeff Green just stink in these first two games, like, don't think I didn't mention that to everyone around me for both nights. It's like, really? Jeff Green? Now you're going to stink? after you showed up in Game 6, Game 7 in Boston. So frustrating. But I really think only 3 guys showed up for the Cavs tonight, and I thought they got really bent out of shape from the officiating, and they did have some bad calls go against them. LeBron in particular just seems like he's absolutely apoplectic that he's not getting officiated better. I was sitting under the basket, and the Cavs were on my basket in the first half. And I actually did think there were some plays where he did get fouled. I do think he whines for calls too much in general, but in this game, I do think that they were really letting him play and really letting him get banged around. And he was frustrated. But more importantly, the Warriors, the JaVale McGee coming in the first quarter and starting the game, and the way they're using him off of screening rolls and things like that. That was a new wrinkle. Putting Durant on LeBron more. LeBron was trying to guard Durant on the other end, which I thought kind of wore him down a little bit. But it's funny. He's superhuman because when he gets tired, everybody kind of noticed, like, oh my God, he's tired. Wow, his shoulders are heaving. Wow, the guy gets tired. But he definitely was. He got a little tired there in the second quarter. I thought I assume at halftime, they have vials and vials of blood from the children of the Cleveland area that he just drinks to gain energy or whatever he does. Probably puts electrolytes in young children's blood. I don't know. But he came back. He had more energy in the second half, but it didn't really matter. The Warriors at home against this Cavs team, when you think of it this way, they should have lost game 1 potentially by a miracle. The miracle of J.R. Smith. The miracle of St. J.R. After that happened, they weren't losing 2 games at home to the Cavs. The one they really should have lost game 1 and then this one. And I felt like a sap because I really thought the Cavs were going to come right at them. And there were moments when they got within 4, where they got within 6, and you kept waiting for LeBron to turn on the Nas Fast and Furious style, but he just couldn't do it. Curry just made too many outrageous shots. 9 threes. Crazy. So what happens now? We are in trouble if you want a long finals. This is not the Celtics. This is not falling down 0-2 to Terry Rozier. This is falling down 0-2 to 2 guys that really look great. And, there's moments with the Warriors, they haven't been able to tap into it consistently, but when Durant and Curry are going at the same time, the team is just breathtaking. It really is. And then Clay's doing his little thing. Clay seemed okay today. He, we'd heard various reports the last couple of days about what might be wrong with his ankle, all that stuff. And he seemed okay. He was moving all right. They got a little bit from David West. Team just looks good. Guess what? When you have 3 of the best shooters of all time and 2 of the best 5 guys of all time and 4 guys that made the All-Star team, you're in good shape. So it goes back to Cleveland. I thought it was interesting. I looked up the line. Cavaliers getting 4.5 points in game 3. So I think Vegas has turned off their belief in this Cavs team. Now, I will remind you, the odds of LeBron shooting about 38 free throws in game 3 are high. We don't know who the refs are, but the Cavs are going to be lobbying for calls nonstop over the next 24 hours. LeBron, we talked about this before. He's like Shaq. You can call it however you want. Every time he's banging into people, it could go either way. It's a no call. It's a foul. It's a charge. It's a reach in. You just don't know. And the crowd's going to be going nuts. I promise you. And rightfully so, because I don't think they got a totally fair shake from the officials the first 2 games. Those Cavs fans, they have I don't think they have a top 3 crowd, but it's definitely like a top 3 angry crowd. That crowd does not F around. They when they feel aggrieved, they will let you know. They will scream at everybody. There's real anger in there. The Midwest is so nice too, but man, they don't like it when their team doesn't get calls. They're going to be on those refs. LeBron is going to be on those refs. And my prediction, just thinking about this here on a Sunday night in San Francisco, I predict a very kind of hostile environment, especially hostile environment. Because if you're a Cavs fan, I would do this if it was the Celtics. You'd be like, man, we got screwed in game 1. We didn't get called in game 2. What the hell? What's going on here? Does the league just wants their Golden Boys to win? and you bring that into the game and you're just angry and you're mad. But anyway, game 2 in the books. It was the Steph Curry game. Special player. I don't know where he ranks. I've been kind of secretly working on my pantheon and trying to figure out where he goes. He's been in the league since 2009. I think this is his 10th season. He's the best shooter I've ever seen. He is surprisingly feisty. There was a moment, actually, I don't know if the TV cameras caught it, but he took a shot in front of the Cavs bench, and I think he thought Kendrick Perkins tried to trip him or something and just went right at him. It was like he was going to fight Kendrick Perkins. My money would have been on Perkins. But he doesn't take shit. He has this reputation of being soft, and he's not. And I don't know. He just doesn't take it. Game 1, he went right at LeBron. I actually watched the telecast on Saturday to see if they showed that LeBron part. The TV didn't really do it justice of what that was like in person. LeBron pinned his block, talked some shit. Steph went right at him and was really like sarcastic, kind of jawing with him. And I don't know. Steph doesn't take shit. He's not like a traditional alpha dog, but I do think he is somebody that's definitely sticks up for himself and is definitely a tough MFer. Anyway, awesome game by him. We are going to be back from Cleveland, so that's going to be the next time you hear from me. We're going to have some fun people on the pod. I don't know if we're doing 2 or 3 this week, but this was a special one on Sunday. But stay tuned on that. And then coming up, right after we take a quick little break, these if you heard this podcast before, you can stop now. If you haven't heard it yet, Andy Samberg, we taped this over the weekend. Desus and Mero, same thing, taped over the weekends. A lot of it was concentrated on where the finals was going after game 1, stuff like that. But with Andy Samberg, we talked a whole bunch of stuff about SNL and growing up as a Warriors fan. Somehow I forgot to ask him about Brooklyn Nine-Nine because I'm an idiot. But we'll talk. He's coming back over the summer, so we'll talk about that again. And then the Bodega Boys came on, and we talked about the finals, LeBron, JR. We talked about Red Sox, Yankees. Talked about Fortnite because Fortnite is ruining our school systems right now. So we did that. So anyway, that is coming up. Andy Samberg, Desus and Mero, right after this. Hey, you're trying to find the perfect gift for Father's Day? Omaha Steaks delivers hand-trimmed, flash-frozen, and vacuum-sealed meats directly to your door in an Omaha Steaks cooler. I know this is true because they sent me some, and it was delicious. We made a whole bunch of them. Right now, Omaha Steaks offering my listeners a limited-time Father's Day package for only $49.99 at 78% off. It's really an amazing deal. Go to omahasteaks.com, search BS, and you can get this Omaha Steaks Father's Day package. This is what they sent me. It includes 2 filet mignons, 2 sirloins, 4 chicken fried steaks, 2 boneless pork chops, 4 all-beef Omaha steak burgers, 4 jumbo franks. Those were really good, by the way. 12 ounces of all-beef meatballs, 1 pound of steakhouse fries, also really good. 4 caramel apple tartlets, 1 Omaha Steaks seasoning packet. Man, I'm getting hungry. Plus, get 4 more Omaha Steaks burgers free with purchase. Again, get this limited time package for only $49.99 when you go to omahasteaks.com. Type BS in the search bar. Add the Father's Day package to your cart. Don't wait. This offer ends soon. It's Friday afternoon, San Francisco, California.
Yes.
Andy Samberg is here.
Big time.
Now you're like a regular. This is like your second time in less than a year.
It's got to be like monthly.
We're getting you for the rewatchables. What are we doing? Rocky 3? What do you want to do? What's your dream scenario to do a movie?
Was it the Rockies we talked about doing?
Yeah. Which one do you care about the most?
I'm a Rocky 4.
Rocky 4. Great.
Mm-hmm. But I'm also a don't sleep on Tommy Gunn guy.
I forgot about that.
Yes. I really enjoyed that one too.
Yeah. I have conflicted feelings about that one.
Maybe if I rewatched it,
I don't like brain damaged Rocky. I don't like brain damaged anybody with my favorite movie characters.
It's interesting. We were just talking about how the new Sicario trailer looks like the leap from Rocky 1 to the Rocky franchise.
Oh, you think this is it? Every year they're doing Sicario?
Well, I don't know.
Sicario.
It looks so much more popcorny than the original.
Is that good or bad?
Remains to be seen. It hasn't even come out.
Why?
Far be it for me to damn a film I haven't seen.
I watched the trailer. I watched the trailer between 3 and 22 times, and I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm just blind in.
I'm definitely gonna see it.
Yeah,
yeah. No doubt.
Why haven't you done a parody of one of those movies where you have to go to South America to get something.
Budget.
But budget, that's right.
Budget is why so many good parodies don't happen because of budget.
So it's hard to parody an action movie.
Yeah, if you want to do it well. I mean, Yorma directed MacGruber, and they did some good action in that, and that movie was very cheap.
And MacGruber, it's like its destiny from the get-go was to become a cult classic down the road, which happened within like 2 years.
Said the future cult classic.
And now that's where it is.
Yeah, it was like from the sketch that you weren't sure you were liking.
Yeah.
It's
funny.
Incredible.
That movie, I had Will Ferrell on my podcast last year talking about Step Brothers.
Yeah.
And how people were so angry at Step Brothers when it came out. And then it had this second life. And now it's this classic, but it just wasn't the case when it came out.
I mean, that's
also
frustrating. That's in Will Ferrell perspective. It still made like 85 million.
Yeah. To him, that's a complete failure.
Oh yeah. It was a bust.
I can't believe it.
Like, yeah, it must be nice.
You're here for the comedy. You're here for the comedy festival?
Yeah, we're doing our first concert tonight.
So
Lonely
this is
Island.
it. The last time you were on the podcast, you said, "Yeah, I think we're gonna do some Lonely Island concerts."
This is the one. This is it.
This is it.
We did a warm-up show in Pasadena.
A warm-up show.
It was, and I quote, lit AF.
How many people?
About 1,200
In Pasadena.
in Pasadena.
How long was the concert?
A little over an hour. We've got it dialed into basically exactly an hour because there's city ordinance here tonight, so it has to be exactly an hour.
And are you Andy Samberg, or are you various people during the concert?
It's the Lonely Island, and then yes, there are some characters embodied throughout the course of the show. Yeah.
Is there any point you're Andy Samberg?
Yeah, I mean, anytime I'm not wearing a wig.
Okay.
You know what it is? The time that it's really the three of us is when we're doing like bits and banter. When we're rapping, it's a character for sure.
Is this the first thing you've done with those guys in a while where you've like seriously collaborated?
Well, we did Popstar, which was not that long
was
ago.
2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Yeah.
And Akiva and I have been working on some stuff. By the time people hear this, it'll already have happened, right?
Yes.
So we have a song, me and Akiva have a song as the Bash Brothers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've been working on some of that. It's definitely apropos here.
I sat at game one of the finals. I sat next to Barry Bonds.
Oh, yeah, I saw him on, I didn't see you.
I was right next to him.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was, by the way, when, I feel like when something great happened for the Warriors, they were cutting around and he looked pretty grumpy. I was like, is he not pulling for the Dubs?
It was weird. He had a weird connection with LeBron James.
Yeah.
So, and before the game, they kind of nodded at each other. And I said, like, you guys buddies? And he was like, well,
we're all time greats.
Well, that's literally what he,
yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't know. What do you mean? And he's like, it's like, we all know each other. And I'm like all the great players is like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
That makes sense.
So I was like, it's like a great player club. And he's like, yeah.
How do you feel about Bonds?
I think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
I agree.
I wanted to tell him that.
Yeah.
I've probably written mean stuff about him in the past, but I think everybody did. But we don't know who's cheating and who's not cheating and what's going on and who does what.
More. And he was great before too.
He was the best left fielder I ever saw.
Yeah.
And then he had this whole other career when he's clearly smaller than he was. I don't know what he did. None of us there were no rules against anybody doing anything back then.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy. I've written this, but the Hall of Fame is like a museum.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like if you had a comedy museum and you'd be like, yeah, Doug Kenny can't be in. He had a cocaine problem.
Well, that would rule almost every.
Well, that'd be like 90% of comedians.
There's just would be a cocaine wing.
Yeah, you're like, Belushi can't be in. He did cocaine on the set of Animal House, so he's out. It's like, what?
Should there just be a steroid or a PED wing of the Hall of Fame?
Or a PED Hall of Fame.
Just a PED. Just who did it best.
Yeah.
Well, Jose's number one, motherfucker.
I would say Lance Armstrong. He won
yeah.
How many Tour de France's in a row did he win?
All of them.
And then he gets caught. He lies. He besmirches all these other people. He gets caught and then admits he got caught. I think he might have even gotten jail time or he got out of jail time.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, man, I'm sorry. Hey, you want to listen to the Lance Armstrong podcast?
It's going.
Yeah.
I worked with him recently. He did our HBO cycling thing. Yeah.
And he's just completely reinvented himself.
He was pretty chill. I don't know what else to say. He was super chill. He was like...
Do you have to give those back? I always wondered, like you must win something from. Do you have to mail the trophies back to France?
Is there a trophy for the
I don't
Tour de
know.
France?
It's probably like a bracelet. It's cycling. Probably got like a
like
headband,
a super dope bracelet, headband combo.
Headband with like little gems on it.
You like collect the set. If you win like a bunch in a row, you get the whole matching outfit.
Like 6 of them. I like if it's happening in basketball, and even if it was, they would just gloss over it, or if it's like if one of the stars failed a drug test, they would just throw in the garbage. But
isn't everyone in basketball smoking weed? That's my
oh,
understanding.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I may or may not be staying in the same hotel as one of the 2 teams that's playing in the finals that doesn't live in San Francisco.
Yes.
And I'm not positive a couple of them are on my floor, but I walked back to my room.
Yeah.
About 2 hours after the game, and it was like up in smoke with Cheech and Chong.
After the game.
Yeah.
After that one.
Now, it might have been friends, family.
Yeah, exactly.
All that stuff. But like I got a contact high just going from 8 rooms down. So who knows? I think
on that good.
Well, they always the rule with the NBA is you get 4 tests during the year, and then I think after the 4th, that's it.
And none.
So if your test
finals.
is if your test is like March 12th, and that's the 4th one, you're good. It's like a free for all.
To them. I mean, I saw that whole thing on Real Sports about how so many athletes use it for pain, which makes sense.
I mean, if it's legal in different states at this point, you should start. I just think
better that than like Percocet and all that.
I agree.
Yeah,
the Percocets are crazy.
People, and it's so addictive.
Like Brett Favre almost died from painkillers and stuff, but he wouldn't have almost died from pot. He just would have been happier, and he would have watched The Big Lebowski probably more.
Probably
would have seen
more than he already does, which is a lot.
Right? Did you see Game 1?
I did.
What'd you think about the JR brain fart? It was very J.R. Smith. It was very
weird.
In character.
It was. I feel like everyone's letting Hill off the hook for missing the free throw. Me too. To me, I was like, if he makes that, I'm, as you know, die-hard Warriors.
Yes, we're going to talk about that.
Grew up watching them, live and die for them.
And you're a real Warriors fan, not like the 2013 bandwagon Warriors fan.
No. I was just thinking about, because we were talking about how happy we are, they're good now. And I was thinking about those playoffs when Barkley used to just devour them.
Yeah.
Like, we got a good 56
team
this
on
year.
C-Web.
Yes, exactly. So this is a very special time for Warriors fans.
Yeah.
But that game, if Hill makes that free throw this season, I don't know, I'm sure you've noticed, I don't feel like the Warriors hit game-winning shots with less than 10 seconds on the clock this year.
Isn't Curry like 0 for 6 or something?
Yeah,
like that?
I don't remember it happening a lot this season, and I feel like it's a little bit of a is it Steph or is it KD kind of a situation in those moments.
Right.
But that's
it was like SNL in like 07. It was like, is this Hater's team or Andy's team? What is it? How do we figure this out?
It was Wiggs' team. There's no doubt about whose team it was. It was Wiggs. And then we were all there to just do cool other stuff.
You're like J.R. Smith and Tristan Thompson.
She was in every sketch.
I was going to ask you about that actually, because this whole Cavs team revolves around LeBron. I always felt like SNL casts and NBA teams were very similar. The hierarchy of it and how you probably need 8 or 9 guys.
Certain years. When anytime you have someone like an Eddie Murphy
or
a Farrell, like no matter how good everyone else is, you're just like, oh my God, I'm witnessing something really special.
So that's like LeBron right now.
Agreed.
It's like a Will Ferrell career year where it's just like get out of his way and let him do his thing.
Kevin Love played great.
He did.
Yeah.
Well, Will Ferrell had good castmates in the peak Will Ferrell years.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, the SNLs can go either everybody's involved and it's different people carrying different things, or it's like you just have this monster one cast member and then everything fuels through that person.
I might be exaggerating a little. Our cast was pretty
your
solid.
Cast was that end of last decade was pretty crazy.
When Bridesmaids happened, it was kind of over though, because that was so huge.
Yeah.
But we had some years where you look around the table read and it was like, oh man, I'm excited to see what everybody's doing here.
And everybody kind of went on to do stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a very successful cast. I feel very proud to have been
Bill
there.
Hader is now a murderous hitman.
Yeah. Have you watched the whole series?
Oh my God.
It's so good.
I actually was like, where does this go? How do they wrap this up? Yeah. And then the last 3 were the best 3.
Bill, I text Bill every time he does anything. I'm like, you motherfucker. You're so fucking good. It makes me sick.
That show was excellent.
Yeah.
The cool thing about it is.
And the acting is great.
The acting was great. And it could have ended Like the whole show could have ended on that last episode. If it
Yeah.
got canceled or something, it still could have. That just could have been the show.
It was a really good ending.
Yeah.
Very well thought out. Everything worked. It was also funny. Winkler and the woman who plays the lead detective were incredible.
Yes.
The bald guy who plays the like very polite gangster is incredible. I'm a gackhead. That guy, like it's all so well done.
Are you old enough to remember when Henry Winkler was the coolest person in the universe?
I mean, I watched Happy Days.
He really was the coolest person in the universe.
He went to college with my parents.
The coolest, actually, two people were him and John Travolta.
Yeah.
Tells you a little bit about what 1977 was like.
Travolta.
Those were our culture setters.
When you see those old clips of Travolta, though, you're like, oh yeah, I get it. I mean, he was hot shit.
I think he's had more great dancing moments than any other human being ever. I was thinking about this. There was this Instagram video that was going around of him at Cannes.
Uh-huh.
And he's dancing on the stage in Cannes. He's like, 100 now. He has one of his 100 wigs on. And I was like, this guy's been doing this now for 40 plus years. He's Saturday Night Fever, Urban Cowboy, Grease.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction that's like the kind of the sneaky best scene in Pulp Fiction, but all the way through. And it's just like, the dude.
Yeah, Travolta.
He can do it, man.
He can move his bod.
LeBron, back to game one, though.
Yes.
So you thought you were going to lose.
I thought we were going to lose when
the charge on Durant, and then they flip it, which I've never seen in my life.
It was a tough one. If I was a Cavs
I've just never
fan,
seen
I'd
them
be pissed.
review that and then be like, oh, actually, we screwed the call
Well,
up.
the refs said that they had doubt as to whether or not he was in the restricted zone. Everyone else says it was very obvious to them, but obviously to them, they had doubt. And then once they were reviewing that, they are allowed to overturn based on something else.
It's pretty sketchy.
It seemed a little sketchy.
It's great for you.
I loved it. And I'll say this.
You're like, great review.
I'll say this. If I was a Cavs fan, I'd be furious.
Yeah.
But as a Warriors fan, especially 2 years ago in the finals, I was them with all those calls on Steph in game 6 in Cleveland.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Where they fouled him out. He threw the mouth guard, which was, again, not cool. But a lot of those calls were like him like touching a dude with his finger and then he got fouled out or whatever. It was like, it happens. In every finals, there's a game where everyone's like, those calls were bullshit.
Yeah.
And last night was that one going for us. So I'll take it. And I also agree it was weird.
Last year, game 4, going for the sweep was another one of those games.
Yes.
Clay got a bunch of fouls. It was clear very early. It was like, this game is not going.
Also, like, I feel like no one is confused that the home team gets calls, right? Like it happens every single playoff series.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It happens during the season. 3 human beings who are officiating. There's 20,000 people there who are ready to be very angry at them at any point in time.
Yeah.
And I went to Philly-Boston game 4 in Philly.
Yeah.
And Philly's getting every call in that game. And I was going nuts, but I also understood it. It's like the Philly fans are crazy and the refs, at some point, human nature takes over.
Yeah.
And you start subconsciously seeing things.
The craziest one was Harden not getting his flop fouls in game 7.
Yeah.
Last series. His like throwing his arms under people.
He forgot to reorder the flop foul package. He'd only ordered for 6 games. He forgot to subscribe.
I've never seen anything like that cold streak that the Rockets. I've been saying,
you've never seen anything like it until the Celtics the game before, where they missed all the same open threes.
What is that? Just nerves?
Yeah, I talked about it with a couple different people, and it's actually not nerves. I think it's adrenaline. I don't think it's like.
Oh, interesting. Because I was going to say my other guess would be fatigue because of the short man rotation and without Paul.
So that's part of it too. You have a ton of adrenaline early because the crowd, the energy is just different.
They came out hot.
The crowd is like, you can feel it. It's like a coliseum.
Yeah. And
I think these guys come in and they don't pace themselves correctly. But then you shorten the rotations.
Yeah.
Second half, shots are short.
Yeah.
But like,
they
think
needed
about
CP. He would have calmed him down.
All right. First time on SNL, because Hader told me this, that they were always very careful of when to put somebody in an opening sketch.
Yeah.
You didn't throw a year 1 cast member in the opening sketch. You had to ease them into it.
You're talking about the cold open.
The cold open.
Yeah, the live from New York.
The first time you did that, did you have adrenaline or were you nervous?
I was a little nervous, but I did so little political stuff that it took me a while to be in one.
Right. So by that time,
I was more comfortable. I think it may even have been post Lazy Sunday, which was our big like moment on the show that sort of broke me.
Yeah.
So after that, I was kind of like, yeah. And then there's the live stuff.
Because Hater would actually get nervous. Like he would get like
He
physically
still
ill
gets
and stuff.
nervous.
Yeah,
he's just a nervous
He has
guy.
issues.
Clearly, I should get more nervous and I'd be a better actor like him.
I don't think athletes can get nervous like that. I think actors and performers can get it and fight through it and do it. But I think if you're an athlete, if you're being compromised like that, it's actually gonna, if you're just moving on blind instinct,
right?
And you're kind of
so fast,
rattled. It's
I think the free throw line is where you get nervous. Or
George Hill,
or if you're too open, right?
Or if you're too open. That's what killed me yesterday because Jeff Green killed the Celtics in Game 6 and Game 7. And then he'd never played 2 straight good games in his life, and somehow decided to do this against my favorite team. And then in Game 1, LeBron's hitting him with these passes,
wide open,
and he's just bricking threes. And I'm like,
Warriors got lucky again. Warriors have been getting lucky the whole playoffs.
They're also lucky that they have Curry and Durant on the same team.
Agreed. Well,
like Durant was like, wow, what's wrong with Durant?
Yeah.
Boy, he sucks tonight. And it was like he ate 29 points and like 9 rebounds or something.
Yeah. Well, Steph did.
Or I think Durant had like 27.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Still very good.
His version of a terrible game is, would be like a great game for anyone on the Cavaliers except for LeBron.
Correct. Yeah. He shot a lot.
It does feel like LeBron's better this year.
Somehow, yes.
Last year, LeBron and Durant were like this. They were dead even, and Durant might have even had a slight edge. And this year, it's like this.
LeBron's playing smarter.
Yeah.
And he's hitting more jumpers.
Yeah.
And he's got that new, they were talking about it on the pregame. He's got the new fadeaway from like the side.
And he's got that weird power spin, bowl the guy over, but it's not an offensive foul. He's just 290 pounds.
But is it an offensive foul though?
It's like with Shaq, right?
Do you remember in, I believe, the fourth quarter when LeBron had a foul called on him last night and he started really getting pissed and fighting? And then it all died down. And then the announcers were like, that's foul number 1 on LeBron. And I was like, oh, fuck you. Like he hasn't fouled anyone the whole game. He's that good that he doesn't foul anyone the whole game.
When you're rooting against LeBron and that happens, it is the most aggravating thing because it does feel like he commits 15 fouls a game. But whenever they call him for one, he acts like he just got a parking meter ticket.
Yes. That's the other reason why the reversal of the charge, I was like, I agree it's weird, but also it's weird that you never get fouls called on you.
Yeah. So, that's the superstar thing, though.
Yeah, it is. He's the best player in the world.
Jordan was the same thing. You remember the playoff game when Michael Jordan fouled out? No, because it never happened.
It never happened.
It never happened.
And he was holding everyone.
Kobe was another one. Once these guys realize that the refs are going to call them for stuff, they just kind of go around like they have a 2x4. They're just like clubbing guys.
Yeah.
Guys are dribbling by them and they're just doing this. Like they know they're not going to.
By the way, the other call that was insane was ejecting Tristan Thompson. What did he do? Did he throw that elbow?
It seemed like he threw a flying WWE elbow at Sean Livingston. As
the replays, it was really hard to see.
Yeah,
it looked like he was kind of just annoyed, but it didn't look like he was actually intending to hit anybody.
It happened right in front of me and my best friend Barry Bonds. And we both thought it looked a little fishy.
And he was like, I don't know Tristan Thompson.
Barry's like, I'm very disappointed in Tristan right now. I love when the funniest thing is Tristan Thompson's pointing after this new thing the NBA players do where they point. I'll see you in the hallway after.
Yeah.
Like, I'll see you after school. I'll see you in the hallway.
He meant the hallway of your hotel.
Yeah, whatever he meant. But then we were in the hallway after because we were all waiting. And Tristan Thompson and Draymond Green were like 5 feet apart. It's like, you guys are here now. Do you want to?
Yeah, you guys want to fight?
You guys, we're not going to fight? Okay, cool. But they have to do a lot of posturing.
He's going to get suspended a game, yeah?
Seems like it.
Yeah. Draymond, I was so proud of him.
Well, Draymond had reached a point hitting threes where you never felt like the threes were going in anymore. And then he made the biggest three of the game in OT.
Well, I just meant that he had the ball pushed in his face and he didn't get kicked out.
Oh, you're proud of him that he didn't.
Yeah. I mean, he did get a tech though, right?
But the thing is, they know from 2 years ago, when LeBron got him to for Draymond to punch him in the balls.
Yes.
It's, you just kind of provoke him and hope that he snaps. It'll happen. They'll get him to do it.
Yeah, you think he'll get suspended again?
It's probably in their game plan.
It'd be smart.
They'll put some dude in and it'll be like in Slapshot when they brought the Indian guy in and the other dudes, like the guys who weren't even on the team just to fight everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
They'll bring in one of those guys to just like start with
They'll
Draymond.
bring Perkins off the bench.
Yeah, Perkins is playing in this game.
Perkins was livid the whole game. Did you see him?
He's so angry. Why is he so angry? He played in the NBA for 15 years. He made money. He's got a nice suit on.
Yeah,
What's he angry about?
In the finals in a nice suit.
It's hard to take somebody seriously on the bench who's
Yeah.
wearing a suit, who's interacting with the players like he's in the game.
Yeah. He said that's bullshit at least 100 times visible on camera.
Well, he did.
Yeah.
I found out after that when Draymond was like kind of mocking, it seemed like he was mocking LeBron.
He was
doing
Perkins.
He was. I think
I read that on the Ringer probably.
Oh, that's it. Oh, because I probably gave it to the Ringer.
Yeah. He was doing a cheerleader thing.
Yeah, for Perkins.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird end.
But you knew after the JR thing, you knew that sports are weird because
you knew they were going to lose after that.
You know.
Yeah. I was like, Warriors aren't going to lose an OT.
All the stat nerds are like, momentum doesn't matter. Momentum's a myth.
Yeah.
That there's no statistical proof for momentum. It's like momentum exists.
I mean,
here's an example. The Warriors Cavs OT. The Cavs were not winning.
Yes. I agree with you.
Well, I was looking over at their bench and they were like devastated. You could just see it. Everyone's hangdogging.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah.
Steph hitting that one at the half too was so nice.
So what happens if they win again?
If the Warriors win again?
I'm just worried about you as a sports fan. 3 and 4 years.
Oh, if they win the whole thing.
It becomes like, remember when Adam Duritz was just smoking hot actresses for like 5 years?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
And after a while, he's like, I've run out of ways to get
He's
an
from
erection.
the Bay. He's from the Bay. I've seen him like near where my parents live.
Yeah. I mean, what do you do after 5 years of just bliss? How do you keep it going?
Hit the road.
Hit the road?
Yeah.
Write songs about being on the road?
I guess. I don't know.
They're one of the best bands for songs on the road about like how tough the road is.
Is he married? I don't know his deal.
No, I don't know. I just always worry when things are so good for somebody for a short stretch. I'm looking out for you.
I appreciate it. I played Duritz once on SNL.
What was the sketch?
We did a series of them. They were soundtracks. They were like animated movie soundtracks. So one was like about horses playing baseball, and one was about another kind of animal in the courtroom or something.
And you were Adam Duritz?
I was Duritz. It was all like showing clips of people singing the songs, and it was like, karaoke jokes of like singing their songs, but replacing the lyrics with like horses playing baseball. It was a late in the show kind of a sketch.
12:52.
We did it a couple of times, yeah.
It's funny, like
Bunny Business was one. It was about bunnies wearing pantsuits and doing business in offices.
Those first two albums they had were huge 90s albums.
Yeah.
But then they would tour, and he was one of the few bands. I thought they were really good. He's one of the few bands that when they would sing in concert, they wouldn't sing the songs the way that people knew them from the albums. He would mix it up and change them.
Yeah.
And people would be trying to sing, but he's like stopping and starting. And
the first concert I ever went to was Bob Dylan, and he did that. And it was like, like a super bluesy version of like a Rolling Stone.
And people like, can you just...
Yeah, and everyone's like, I love the original. But I get it. If you've toured for like 60 years, he's like, I'm so fucking bored of this song.
You should do this in your concert tonight. Play Lazy Sunday, but play some version that nobody... some blues version.
It's our first show. We're not bored yet.
I can't sing to this.
What's after making people wait like 12 years.
Yeah. Have you met Durant and Curry?
I met Steph briefly after a Clippers game. Yeah. But I've never met Durant. Steph was very nice.
He was?
Yeah. I think he was aware that I was a crazy fan of the team. Right. So he went out of his way to be nice. But he was like, can I get a picture with you?
Oh, that was nice.
And I was like, you're full of shit, Steph Curry, but I'll take it.
It must be funny to have that turned where you become the crazy fan that's going up to somebody else with that crazy look in your eye and you want the picture.
I tried to play it cool, but my buddy Akiva, it was his birthday, and I took him to the game for his birthday. I rented an old limo.
Yeah.
He like bumped 90s R&B the whole way there. I like insisted on a shitty old 90s limo. And, so we were like already having a great time.
Yeah.
And then we were going to say what's up to Blake after the game, but he got a concussion. And we just randomly were waiting in the hallway, and Steph was doing his like post-game interviews on the wire or whatever. And he saw me and came over, and I was like, it's his birthday.
Hey, man.
Best pure shooter of all time.
What do you think of like when Blake's going to the comedy festivals and stuff? What do you think about athlete-comedian crossovers?
Like, should athletes come to comedy festivals?
No, when athletes are trying to do comedy like that, and they're all of a sudden, it's like you wouldn't go on an NBA court and be like, guys.
Oh, some people are good. Peyton's
doing
good.
G-League.
Blake Griffin's funny. When it's good, I'm all for it. If anyone's sneaky funny, it's exciting, right?
I remember when Blake Griffin got drafted, it had everybody's like life goal, the ESPN graphics, and it was like goal in life. And for Blake Griffin, it was like wants to host SNL someday.
Oh wow!
And I was doing a column about that draft, and I was like, I would put the odds on that at 1 quadrillion to 1. And then like 5 years later, I was like, fuck,
he might.
I'm glad I didn't take those odds. Although playing in Detroit, it's not happening. He would have to get traded.
He's gonna have to get traded again. Yeah,
Detroit's bad for the Blake Griffin brand.
Yeah,
he's got to get back to a big city.
Agreed. That wasn't a great move for him.
The Knicks.
Out of his
I don't think
control.
he wanted that move. I think he re-signed with the Clippers for all this money.
Yeah, they were like, this is it. This is the franchise.
Here's where we're retiring your number. And then like 4 months later, they're like, we've traded you to Detroit.
I know this is like beaten to death, this topic, but that is why I get so annoyed when people are mad at Durant.
Yeah.
You're like, you're going to just have him wait around to get traded, or like everyone on his team get traded because it's a business. He's treating it the same way the owners are treating it. I know this is old, but
no, but it's been one of the themes of this decade is I went into this decade with a certain idea of how the responsibility players had to fans and their city and their team.
Yeah.
And now by the end of this decade, I'm like, I don't blame these dudes. They'll get traded tomorrow. They'll get waived tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like whatever. Like they should do whatever the hell they want.
yes,
They don't care what I think.
agreed. Although if Durant leaves, I'll be so sad.
You'd be crypto leave, Kevin. Please. How long do you see these dudes staying? Do you think big picture with this team?
I do. I think Clay will stay. Draymond will stay.
Clay seems like one of those guys who would stay because he doesn't want to move. It's just like, man, I like this place. I've been here for 4 years.
He's such a fucking G. I love Clay.
He's everybody's favorite teammate on that. They all like
Yeah.
rave about him, but they won't tell you why totally.
Because he's
Like,
just
who's the best teammate? Clay. Why? You just have to be around him.
he's just no bullshit.
Yeah.
And if there's ego there, he doesn't show it. Like,
Right.
Like the ego is he plays well.
Yeah.
And that's how, and when he plays well, he's like, yeah, and now everyone knows I'm good.
So,
Like he never talks shit.
right.
He's always on. He works his ass off on defense.
Even yesterday when he got into it with LeBron after LeBron blocked Curry and Curry
God, I
was
wish
like,
I
hey
could've-
man, come on, man.
Could you hear any of that?
I could see it. I was pretty close. I couldn't.
Like I was so like, what are those people saying right now?
It seemed like Curry was like, what the fuck, dude? Come on.
Like, why'd
Come
you
on.
block me, or why
No,
are you talking
just like,
shit?
why are you talking shit?
You're losing.
Yeah, the game's almost over. What are you doing?
Yeah, and they were like,
And
okay.
LeBron shoved him. And then Clay was like, cut it out with that bully ball shit.
Yeah.
And then, because I think they especially felt this way in game 5 last year when the Cavs were about to lose the finals last year.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter, LeBron started doing this bully ball back down stuff when they needed threes.
Right.
And they were just guarding the 3-point shooters. And he was just bad. And he was just banging and bully balling.
Yeah.
And he did that last night in one possession with Curry. There was this one time, and they were going to lose. And he had Curry on him. And he was backing him down. He was like slamming into him, like to kind of send a message.
Yeah.
So I think those guys were being like, you can do all that shit all you want. We're not intimidated by you.
Right.
And that made him mad. And that's when he shoved Curry.
Right.
But
Like, we got
Curry's
you.
like weirdly feisty though.
I know.
You know?
He's got ego.
He doesn't take shit.
His ego has been coming out more and more on the court. But
Right.
I'm glad for it because people think he's soft and they go at him in that way.
He's definitely not soft.
No.
Can
he like deadlift like 1,000 pounds? I've
Yeah,
heard
he's-
crazy things about his strength.
He's definitely feisty. And even on defense, when he was getting matched up with LeBron, he can kind of guard LeBron. Like
Yeah.
my friend Barry Bonds was saying this
Right.
yesterday.
Barry. You can just say Barry.
Barry and I were talking about it yesterday
Yeah.
at the game. But he was saying that Curry could weirdly guard LeBron because LeBron's not faster than him. He was saying that the guys Curry can't guard are the guys that can just go by him.
Right.
But LeBron and him are equally as fast, so he's stronger, but at least he can stay in front, get shoved backwards.
Curry had trouble with Harden.
Right, because Harden was going by him.
Right.
But
Also,
Harden goes
Harden-
by everybody.
Harden also is just like a brick shithouse. Like he's so thick.
Harden is like Ginobili if you sent Ginobili to Eastern Europe in the 1980s and figured out how to make some robot version of Ginobili and make him faster and stronger.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guard. I think he'd be the single most impossible guy for a normal white guy to guard, like us.
Any person.
He'd just go by us and we'd be like, whoa, where'd he go?
Harden
He's behind us.
Harden's skill set is incredible.
Yeah.
I just wish
He's like a magician.
he didn't flop so much. It's my one complaint.
Yeah.
But it works for him. He's going to be MVP.
I did
Who am I to say? I'm some comedian guy who makes dick raps. Just as a fan of the game, though. Like, and now everyone does it because he does it so much that it works. So now, like, Steph and KD do it, LeBron does it, everyone's doing it now, and every time it happens, the whole stadium's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Even if it's their team, you're just like, ugh, who cares?
I blame soccer. I think soccer started this.
Yeah,
The freaking floppers in soccer.
Freaking flopping.
The other thing I noticed last night was the animosity.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be
Real,
less.
it was like not fake animosity either. It was like, I'm really tired of, like the Warriors, you could tell were just like, I'm really tired of LeBron.
Yeah.
I've had it with Tristan Thompson and J.R. Smith can go fuck himself. Like, it was like, they definitely, you could feel it. It wasn't
and
fake.
the Cavs are like, still think they're soft.
Yeah, the Cavs are like, you guys are pussies.
And
we
proved
can get
it
you.
on the glass, by the way.
Yes.
But still didn't win because the Warriors are just too good.
I learned last night that.
And they got the good calls and they missed the free throw and JR ran the wrong way. There was a lot of things that went our way.
But that's the thing. When you have J.R. Smith on your team, he's on your team. Like, there's this J.R. Smith tax you have to pay.
Yeah.
Where he's going to like forget the score. He almost maimed Clay Thompson in the first quarter. Accidentally when he fell.
He slipped.
That's
though.
he
slipped.
slipped.
I was actually a little disappointed in the crowd. It seemed pretty obvious that he slipped.
I think it was the history of behavior with him, though.
Right.
There is a clip on YouTube called J.R. Smith's dirtiest plays, and it's like 20 plays.
The Warriors have Zaza.
Right. If they sent Zaza out to deal with JR, I don't know what they would just
that would have been
dirty play each
hilarious
other.
if he checked in for the first time at that moment.
Just for 2 seconds left. 2 seconds left in the game.
I also slipped.
It is. We haven't seen him at all.
No.
We'll see him if they're like down 20 in one of these games.
It's been a small ball playoffs.
Yeah.
No, really nobody.
So how long do you think Curry and Durant stay together? Just big picture, as a Warriors fan, how long do you think you have this? Because if they win this title, it's 3 and 4 years, which has only happened like 6 times.
Durant, is his contract up this year?
It is, but it seems like they're just
Committed.
going to redo it. He makes so much money from the Silicon Valley part of this whole thing. I don't see him leaving.
Agreed. And Steph's the backbone of the whole franchise.
I think Curry and Durant stay forever. It seems like everyone loves Clay and he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Draymond's got to know where his bread is buttered, though. I mean, he's incredible and he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but like, it's also because he plays with those guys that he's able to excel so much.
Right.
He'd be great on any team, no doubt.
When you hit a 3 and it goes in and it's an absolute bonus, that's where you want to be, I think, as a basketball player.
Exactly. And
it's
also,
like, hey, Draymond made a 3, man. Congratulations.
Also, just if like your 2 guards hit 50% of their threes, you're going to get a lot more assists.
Yeah. There was one point during the game, he got the technical. He got really mad that they called him for poking LeBron in the eye. Meanwhile, LeBron's like, he's like walking around. Like,
he definitely fouled him.
Like he hit him with a wire hanger. He definitely fouled him. Draymond's just furious about it. And he wouldn't calm down. And Barry was saying, calm down, Draymond, calm down. He can't calm down.
Yeah.
And it was like, but other people in our section were too. It's like the
whole stadium.
He's that 8-year-old kid where it's like, oh no. Yeah. Like you're at the birthday party. It's like, oh no. Oh, Billy's melting down.
He's gonna kill the cake.
He's gonna shove the cake over. So how many concerts you doing?
Just this one for now.
That's it?
Yeah, we're dipping our toe.
How many people?
They're telling us 15,000.
What?
Yeah, we're headlining.
15,000?
We're headlining the first night of this festival.
That's like almost as many people as game 1.
Yeah, it's a lot.
15,000?
Yeah, it's a lot.
So adrenaline or nerves?
Adrenaline will kick in once we go out there. I've got a little nerves. I'm glad we did the warm-up show to get
Don't get like Trevor Ariza, Terry Rozier type 0 for 28 from 3 nerves.
I like Rozier.
It's my dude,
He's got
man.
game. Celtics next year. If they could stay healthy.
Come on in. Jump on the bandwagon. We'll take you.
Huh? I've always liked the Celtics.
The Celtics love bringing celebrities, put them courtside.
I would love to go to a Celtics game.
You would love it. They would cheer. They show you in the Jumbotron. You do this.
Yeah. They're a great franchise.
Yeah. Donnie Wahlberg's under the basket every game. He's really,
I love Donnie Wahlberg.
Donnie Wahlberg's had like 3 separate careers that anybody would take. He's been on Blue Bloods for like 9 years.
6 cents.
Just
6 cents.
He's banking these Blue Bloods checks. My dad is like, I miss Blue Bloods. I got to go on Hulu.
That's what your dad said?
Yeah, my dad. He loves Blue Bloods.
So that's why he's going to get on Hulu?
No, that's Donnie Wahlberg. That's why he's doing well. My dad
follow
is
him anywhere.
If my dad is like trying to figure out the streaming universe to catch up on a Donnie Wahlberg show, you're good. My dad's 70.
Blue
He doesn't know how to do
Bloods
anything.
That's a long-running show, yeah.
Blue Bloods is very successful.
What's your favorite episode?
No, my favorite is when you turn on TNT for the Thursday night game.
Yeah.
And it's like the last 8 minutes of CSI New Orleans with Scott Bakula.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always in.
That's good stuff.
Scott Bakula's face never moves during whatever's going on. He's just suspicious, but there's
Stoic AF.
it's New Orleans and somebody did something. And
I'll watch anything set in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Like Bad Lieutenant.
New Orleans and
The
Miami.
sequel?
It's yeah,
See
it's
that?
yo, it was fantastic.
Oh.
New Orleans, Miami, it's just like whatever is going on there, I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the Bayou is another one I like.
You're good. You like the Bayou.
I like the Bayou and I like the Everglades. Remember that Netflix show with Kyle Chandler? It was just like they're in the Florida Everglades. It's just sweaty. Everybody's wearing
Sweaty.
linen shirts that are just big sweat patches.
Yeah, I don't think I saw that. Which one was it?
Bloodline.
Oh, Bloodline. I actually haven't seen Bloodline, but I hear good things.
It's a lot of sweating.
Yeah, a lot of sweating.
Could be another as you think about the next stage of your career. Everglades,
Something where I
Bayou, New Orleans, sweat.
Good way to stay in shape.
Yeah.
Sweat
You're
it
losing
out.
water weight, sweating out the night before.
Yeah. Wear that trash bag.
Yeah. All right. So you'll be back for rewatchables, Rocky something.
Absolutely.
One of the Rockies.
I
All
would
right.
love that.
Good luck tonight in front of 15,000 people. You'll be
Thanks.
fine.
If you want to come, let me know.
This will be good.
We got ticks.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, man. I'll put you up in the VIP satin section.
I'll talk to TA over there. All right. Thanks, man. Hey, let me tell you about Betterment while you're here. You know how you're saving and investing for the life you want? Are you? Well, maybe you're not. How do you know if you're not? Finances, big and small, can be confusing. Understanding the market can be intimidating. Fortunately, Betterment, the largest online financial advisor, is here to change that. Its mission is to help customers make the most of their money by taking complex investing strategies and using technology to make them more efficient. At Betterment, hidden costs are nowhere to be found no matter who you are. How much money you invest, you get everything for one low, transparent management fee, and it's at a fiduciary. Fiduciary, that's a tough one for me to say. They make recommendations in clients' best interest. They're not incentivized to recommend certain funds. They don't have our own investment products to sell. Better yet, Betterment offers personalized advice and a suite of tools to help you know whether you're on track to hit your investing goals or get the retirement you want. Sign up today, and as a BS podcast listener, you can get up to 1 year managed free. Remember, investing involves risk. For more information, visit betterment.com/BS. That is betterment.com/BS. Okay, here we go. Desus and Mero. They were on a couple months ago, but you know what? Anytime I have these guys and I'm in the same city with them, we're doing a podcast. That's just the way it goes. Here they are. All right, it is Friday, 6 p.m., San Francisco time. Desus and Mero.
Yes.
In San Francisco. They allowed you out of New York again.
Our first time in San Francisco.
I thought you weren't allowed on the West Coast
No,
anymore.
we got pardoned by Trump.
Yeah.
You did?
Us?
You did?
And Danny Tanner said if we could come back.
Since the last time we did a podcast, all of us basically implored Mike Francesa to come back.
We,
Yeah.
You,
What are you doing,
how
Mike
did you
Francesa?
feel about that? How did you feel about literally
Did he-
the next day after we did
Yeah.
that podcast? He was like, all right, I guess I gotta come
I
back.
guess I gotta
want
come
me.
back.
That's it. I'm
Bill and the
coming.
Bodega Boy said it. We gotta do it.
I'm back.
After this.
How do you feel about him being on Twitter?
It's magical. What are you talking about?
It's the gift of the Magi. It just keeps giving.
I feel like he died and somebody has figured out how to take his voice
consciousness
and his consciousness
man.
and they're just orchestrating this because it's too good to be true.
It's
to
like-
watch him live tweet like basketball games.
Oh my God.
Because the other day he was like, "Oh, the Warriors are terrible. They're done in like the second quarter." I was like, "You want to finish?"
It's like the Rick James sketch on Dave Chappelle where he kind of didn't realize that he was the joke.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he just like goes on and on.
Like,
And
the
on.
Warriors,
Just
the Warriors are done.
dimensions
The
better
Warriors are
in his
terrible.
tweets.
The Warriors are garbage in the
They're
fourth
done.
quarter. He's like, I told you they win. I told you to play that. What a gutsy play.
Yeah.
And then yesterday he made the
What a
comment that
gutless move by Kevin Durant.
he said a lot of people don't realize that Steph Curry is a great ball handler. Okay.
You mean everybody
All right.
realized? You
I feel
mean
like
everybody-
one of us is just watching basketball for the first
Do you
time.
mean by everybody? Do you mean the cashier at Stu Leonard's where you get your wine?
Oh.
That's one of my favorite national sports arguments when people be like, people don't realize Kevin Durant's a good shooter.
When people say that, it's just like it's
bro,
more
what do
like
they think?
it's
What
like
people?
you didn't realize
Yeah.
it. Like everyone else
people
knows
didn't
it.
realize that.
he has 8-foot long arms. He could just throw the ball into the hoop from like anywhere on the court.
I have since the last time I saw you, Francesa went on Twitter, and my 7-year-old dad is also now on Twitter. And
Oh, yeah?
his tweets are exactly like his text to me during Red Sox and Celtic games.
All right, does he sign
so
them?
between those two, I'm like, this is great.
This is
I don't
great.
know
Oh,
how
man.
I feel like I should be paying Twitter for
Oh.
these two people
I have
in
to
my
pay
life.
Twitter to let my dad not be on Twitter.
That would be good for you.
That'd be terrible. That
It
would
might be
destroy the
bad for my
brand.
career.
So
If you think Roseanne had hot tweets, well,
oh my
wow.
God. You guys have had a lot of fodder this year.
Yeah,
Oh,
A lot
my
of things
God.
to talk about.
But you notice the 1 week we take off.
Take off.
The whole
Everything
world
happens.
implodes.
Oh, you didn't have the, you
Kanye
weren't on
We're
this
off
week
all
for
this-
Roseanne?
We were off this week. We missed everything. We missed Pusha-T and Drake. We missed Roseanne. We missed the
Kanye's
finals.
implosion.
Kanye.
Pusha-T and Drake.
Oof. Oof.
Whoa.
I've never
Oh,
listened
boy.
to a song and
Pusha.
turned
Whoa.
it down because it was
Ooh.
so disrespectful to the person they were rapping about. When he started talking about his son, I was just like, I can't do
Oh
this.
man.
I was like,
But
I-
not the most disrespectful song ever.
No, not
No,
But the most disrespectful in a while.
Yeah,
Quite.
in a while.
You
I
haven't
think
seen-
Super Ugly from
This is
Jay-Z
what-
was the
what I
most
grew up with.
disrespectful.
I think probably either the Bitchin' You by Common dissing
Ice Cube? Yeah,
or
that was hard.
Ice Cube's No Vaseline diss
I-
to
It's
NWA.
for me. It's no Vaseline to hit him up.
yeah.
Yeah.
To hit him up. He went he did a sickle cell.
Yeah.
that was
Don't want
So,
to little
which
niggas go
Pusha
shit
T
to
yeah.
him.
kind of
And like I
reference by
fucked your
talking
bitch,
about-
all that stuff. Yeah,
He referenced it by when he made the about 40 having MS. That part I was just like,
it was almost like he was sampling the most inappropriate lines that were crossed
Yes.
from years
Yes.
past.
he
It's
definitely
like, I'm
One
going to
thing.
cross all of these. at
I
one time.
could just hear the glee in his voice as he was reciting these lyrics to people, and probably the studio engineer was just like, no,
Yo, you're
don't-
doing too
don't.
much. Chill.
Well, it's like the old thing we talked about this last time. Never beef down.
Never
Yeah.
beat down.
And Drake,
He came in a little
Jake was
confident.
flexing a little, like, oh, someone else is coming. Oh, awesome. And it's
He
like,
came
no.
out with peacock.
You have
feathers
way
out.
more to lose.
They took him down. Also, if you have a whole hidden child, not that I have one, I'm just saying. If you have one, you have to lay low. Don't rock the boat. Just
An alleged hidden
Alleged.
child.
Alleged,
child.
yeah.
Alleged.
I'm still like, I don't know. Like, as a card carrying Dominican, like, I want to see tests and papers.
that's not how it works.
You know
If
what I'm
someone
saying?
says
Like-
you have a kid and it's like, you can't be like, nah, I need to see papers.
Because, yo, I mean, like, we've seen Travis Scott and Kylie Jenner's kid. And then they're saying that it potentially could be her bodyguard's kid.
But he came out and said it wasn't.
Oh.
He said it wasn't.
Yeah, and that kid looks just like the bodyguard, bro. Exactly.
But we've
Like-
never seen Drake's child, so we've never seen
So
his
the one
face.
thing I'm suspicious of is, didn't he say the kid's name was Adonis?
Adonis, yeah.
So that's also Creed's son's name in the Michael B. Jordan
Mhm.
Creed.
Yeah.
Adonis, which makes me wonder if he was just watching Creed one night and that was
And just, like,
wrote it
forgot
down.
to pull out?
And it's not. He made
He's
the
like,
whole
oh, this
thing.
is such a great scene. I forgot to pull out. I guess your name is Adonis now.
Or Pusha T was watching Creed and was
And they
like,
did
"I'll
like
just
the
do
play?
Adonis."
Yeah.
This didn't really happen.
How did that, like, that's just, oof.
He's been working on that for a while, man, because to get all
He
that
had to have
information.
that. He had to have that
Yeah.
waiting. Like, that was like a scouting report.
Because he's
just
been
looking
like
through it,
poking at Drake and like Young Money for so long. Like, oh, you guys aren't getting paid. Your boss isn't
Right.
paying you. Your boss has you in a headlock.
But they're all legit beefs.
You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean,
This is for you guys.
This
It's
is for
just,
us.
It's just
Oh,
like
man.
this is
This
it.
is
This
not
is
like-
why you created your show.
Yeah.
and
this
I'm
is
like,
old
yo,
school
I'm
beef.
just trying to tell Pusha T, like, dude, don't ruin my summer.
Right.
Don't ruin my summer. Drake is summer music. Like, cool. I enjoy listening about you selling cocaine. That's dope. And you do it very well. But like, I don't want to hear about this shit at a barbecue.
I'd
Like,
rather
I want to hear
that than
Drake.
I don't want to hear. You know what? Drake's had too many summers, too much happy stuff. I want to hear about cocaine at like a family reunion. I want to hear about chopping up bricks while I'm playing with kids. That's what I want.
I'm like the total opposite. I'm like, yo, it's sunny, it's nice out. I got flip flops on. I'm like grilling.
See,
like,
that's
I don't
you.
want.
I'm
Yo,
at
I
the
sold
beach like this, I'm
28
like-
bricks.
I know what the price of a kilo is.
Well, could this lead to like Drake having like a turn?
Yeah,
Like
this
a-
is
a
This is
dark
his real
bad
turn?
for Drake.
Dark Drake?
Dark Drake.
'Cause he-
Yeah.
Like Drake like getting a
The
little rough
problem
now?
is the Drake we're seeing right now is Dark Drake. He's been saying this for
Yeah,
two
he's
albums.
not-
He's like,
not
I'm
really,
angry.
though.
Yeah, he doesn't have like Drake
He's
can't
like
get darker
Moody
than
Drake.
this.
It's like emo Drake.
He's
Yeah,
Canadian.
that's
How
what
much
it
darker
is.
can he get? He's just
Yeah.
like angrily pour syrup. Like, no, he got
Emo
no
Drake
more.
is I'm playing with the emo Drake shit. I think he can get darker. I think he get more aggressive.
He does emo
and
about
dig
girls.
in.
He's never gotten aggressive for beef or with another
With
guy.
dudes, yeah.
He doesn't have it in
Except
him.
Meek Mill. I mean, like, because I feel like he
Right.
thought Meek Mill wasn't gonna go at him like bar for bar per
But
se.
Meek Mill dropped the ball on that. Meek Mill never responded properly. First he tweeted Z, then he did like some whack half-ass song.
But
no
that
one
was a great
remembers.
situation for Meek Mill.
It
That
was, but
it
he
was a
bottled
layup for him.
It was a layup. Just
It-
keep escalating it.
Meek Mill didn't come with a game plan. He was tweeting out of anger because Drake never tweeted out the link to his album. So he didn't think his actions through. So he's just tweeting, not realizing like if you're gonna go up against Drake, you have to have plan A, plan B, like a follow-up backup plan and stuff. Meek Mill
I'm
did not
wondering
have
if
that.
Meek Mill's just not maybe that organized of a guy.
He might not be.
It just might be. Maybe
Philly
he needs
guys
to
kinda-
work on
I
that.
get that feeling.
Look at Colangelo.
might
Philly
have
guys
ADD.
are
Yeah.
notoriously disorganized and messy.
Yeah, we're at the finals, and everyone's congratulating me for the Colangelo story we did for 2 days.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, meanwhile, the finals is going on. People are like, how about this Colangelo?
Colangelo
Oh my
thing.
God.
Oh my
that
God. His
story.
wife is
Whoa.
involved now.
Whoa,
It's
is
like
it the
basketball
wife?
wives.
What do you think it is?
It's funny
was
watching
like-
Twitter respond to that
Oh
because
my
that's
God.
just normal on Twitter.
Yeah.
People just make fake pages all the time.
All the
But
time.
for someone to be in that position and do, it's
Well, you
hilarious.
guys know how Twitter works. There's a lot of nights where people are just hoping something happens.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that was the day after the Game 7 Rockets Warriors. And it's just this dead NBA night. It's the
Right,
first time in a
nothing
while
else
there's
going
no
on.
NBA, nothing going on. Warriors, Cavs again. Man.
Yankees are
and then
crushing.
that story goes up and people are like, oh my God.
Because it's just
Oh, this
you
is a
just see people
gift.
Like, what?
What?
And you had to, you saw like the last tweet and you had to like follow back to who are they talking about? Who did what?
Bro, there was a couple of tweets that I was like, did I write these? Because there was one that was like, Ben Simmons, shoot a three, you coward. In all caps, I was like, did I?
I was like, I've definitely yelled that one night.
I was like,
Oh, and the Embiid stuff?
yo, that's why I'm like, now I'm campaigning to get Embiid on the Knicks. Like, yo, we'll never do this to you. James Dolan doesn't care about it in basketball at all. Don't worry about it. Like,
You
just
notice
come
every
here.
time we try to get a player to the Knicks, it's not because you could win a championship. It's just like, it's a little nicer here. We have hot dogs.
Yeah, you know?
We won't.
It's a
we
big
won't- we
city.
won't-
The hot dogs
we
are kosher.
We won't mock you on Twitter.
Girls.
Yeah.
We got
Girls, you'll be the king of the city.
The big advantage of the Knicks is that you can go anywhere you want at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of cities you can
nothing.
say
Yeah,
that.
but
And it's also like, if you're
Wait,
the king of
that's
if
not
you're
an
the
advantage?
king of
I mean,
New
how
York-
much fun is that? And especially if you're like you're a Knick player and okay, you can go to any club you want. If the Knicks are terrible and you go to a club and you got some guy like me, like, oh,
Listen.
you bum, why don't you go practice somewhere?
I was just trying to come up with any advantages
Yeah,
to
we got
being on
that.
the Knicks.
It's Madison Square Garden is centrally located and it's near a lot of transportation.
It's near
so that's
Penn.
it.
Near Penn.
Yeah, yeah.
near
You can get
Penn
to
Station.
you can get to your mansion in Westchester very quickly.
Drake and LeBron. So there's always these different incarnations of Drake,
Right.
Yeah.
and he's kind of a chameleon.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sad, Drake. I just want to fall in love, Drake.
Right.
I'm angry, Drake.
I'm charged up.
I'm the man, Drake. And, and now it's going to be like, I've been tested, and now I'm going to show.
I'll show you who I am.
Yeah.
LeBron has also had a lot of incarnations, and the guy that I watched in Game 1 of the Finals
That was not a guy.
was, I am really angry, and I might fight everybody. LeBron,
That was Thanos.
who I've never
That
seen
was-
before.
That was
He was
LaFanos.
just-
Yeah. Have you
he
ever
went
seen
off.
LeBron like that aggro before?
Bruh, like that's
I
what
couldn't
he needs
believe
to do.
it.
That's what I said. I was like, yo, if he goes into the finals like that, he has a chance. Like, and if he pulls that off, then like the whole GOAT argument, like, yo, get that shit out of here.
But he wasn't just angry. He was playing with like a high level of intelligence with that anger as well.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't just like pounding the ball
controlled
down.
anger, yeah.
Like he was playing the game at his own pace because there was like one play where he actually stopped himself from dunking and held the ball in the air a little bit and then released it. Do you remember that play?
Yeah.
And I was just like, how do you have the muscle control and the whereabouts to know to do that in a split second and you beat the defender on that? He's playing a high level of basketball I've never seen before. That game,
It really
one was
bugs me because
wild.
I thought I was going to die in the MJ corner. I even wrote my book. I
Yeah?
was like, look, we are never having this discussion ever again.
Again,
It's
but-
Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get the fuck out of here.
Even though I love Bill Russell, I know. I read the book.
Yeah.
Even though I love Bill Russell's the best, but no, Mike is the best. But
Yeah,
I get it.
LeBron is. He's
I
making it
was
very
at a
claro.
text today, and I
Man,
was
listen,
like,
you're a Celtics fan. You saw the lesser Lesser Morris brother, literally grab onto that man's shoulders and
I know.
ride him like a pony.
it was
and
like
he still
Shaq.
had
It was
the-
like young Shaq.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he still had the body control to make that.
Are we
play
sure
at
he's
and
the
win.
lesser Morris brother?
I don't know.
Can they both be the lesser Morris
Can they-
brothers?
I don't know.
if there's a
I
greater
confused-
Morris brother.
I don't
you
even
gonna
know which
fight
one is which.
It's just like, who's the good one? I don't even know.
Whichever one doesn't play for Boston, goddammit, I'm a New
All I
Yorker.
know is whichever Morris twin you have on your team, you don't want them to shoot in a close game with like 4 minutes left. Like, please don't shoot that.
Don't shoot it.
But the LeBron thing, there's a couple moments. There's things that he's doing that are just different. Because I always thought, I don't want to say he was weak. I would never use that word because that
No.
guy's amazing. And I don't want to use the word soft either. But almost like there was a little bit of benevolence to him. Like
That's
he was just a little bit too
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
That's what it is. Like
I didn't see that last
He doesn't
night.
want to be like Kobe wanted to be Michael Jordan so bad that he was like, I'm gonna adopt this asshole mentality that Michael Jordan has, this like murderous,
Yeah,
like
I'm doing a Michael
going to
Jordan impression.
Yeah, I'm doing my best Michael impression, and I'm going to the scores table and I'm asking, hey, how many more assists do I need for a triple double? You know what I mean? Blah blah blah. LeBron is just like, yo, I'm just the greatest basketball player to ever live. but I'm also not a dickhead. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
I'm gonna be nice.
I'm
to
socially
you.
conscious.
I'm socially conscious. Like, you know, you'll never hear him be like, "Yo, Republicans buy sneakers too," or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, he's more. Maybe it's him. Maybe it's the people around him.
little
like,
passive aggressive.
You know what?
Right?
Yesterday I
Yeah,
felt
that
like
too.
LeBron reminded me of, you ever worked on a group project in college and everyone else around you is not helping whatsoever, and
Yeah.
you know you're not going to get any help?
Yes.
He seemed so frustrated that he was like, you know what? I'm going to do this by my goddamn self. The rest of y'all going to get a ring. Y'all be happy for it. Just give me the ball and say,
Give me the
out
ball.
the way.
Get out of the way.
He's done that before in the past because there's been in 2010 and 14 when those seasons started to slip away. I remember in 2014 he was just throwing these really hard chest passes at his teammates. He was like, "You guys take it,
Take
another miss another fucking shot, fuck you."
you asshole.
Or when he starts telling, like, at the top of the court, and he starts pointing for people,
People
to get
go,
and
like-
they're like, I already know my position.
I
I
know.
played why are you
Hit the
pointing this
corner!
out? He's
Yeah.
like, you cut. He's like,
I'm currently
I'm a
cutting.
It
millionaire
reminds me
too.
a little of when my wife comes home with groceries and I'm doing something and I don't help, and then she carries in the last bag and stomps and
Stomps
it's
it.
like, "I'll get these.
I got it. I'll take the
I
cans to
got
the
this.
basement.
Don't worry."
Yeah.
But that's like his attitude.
Yeah.
Yesterday was just like, I'm beating the Warriors by myself. You guys can join me, or I'm gonna just
Oh,
score
yeah.
50
No, he
points.
literally would have beat the Warriors by himself.
Yeah,
JR.
I think he thought he was going to.
That KD
Yeah.
no call and that JR shit at the end.
Was that J.R. Smith or was that vintage J.R.?
That was, as a Knicks fan, you know,
Oof.
like it's like hot and cold. Like you get those from JR. Like
You
you'll either get a
you
40
the
point
shot, and you're like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you
And it
doing?
goes in,
Oh,
you're like,
man.
oh, yeah, I love it, JR.
But then you get the ball with like 2 seconds left, and you dribble all the way to half court and then back, and then you see him mouthing the words, "I thought we were up. Anything is possible."
That look LeBron gave when he was just pointing, that
Yo.
frustration look.
Well,
He's
because
like, "What are you doing?"
JR
That's like me
got
and my
that
kids at the
rebound.
park.
He's on the top of the key.
right there.
And he's like, "Here's my MJ moment."
Yeah.
Camera's ready. I'm
we
getting
were all
getting
waiting
this
for
off.
it. We're
Here we
all
go.
waiting for it. And
And
JR
Jay-
was like, I got a fifth of Henny in my locker.
Do you think JR is the most likely person who could have been an above the rim 23 years ago, 24 years ago, whatever that movie was?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is there a more likely above the rim
No.
player? Ricky Davis?
Maybe. But
No, JR.
like JR's like got it. I mean, like Ricky Davis, because he was so gassed.
Yeah.
Like remember when they drafted LeBron? He's like, "Yo, I could use some help. Like he would be a good addition to my offense." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that type of talk.
JR kind of seems like basketball is kind of something he does, but it's not like his first love. Like he's kind of chilling. Like he could probably be stealing cars or smoking weed or something else. So
He's
I could
one of
definitely
those
see him
people
in
you-
Sunset Park.
Yeah, you both want him to shoot when you're rooting against him, but then you're also afraid as he's shooting. It's
Because he's
this
yeah, he
gamut
might-
of
he's
emotions on
he
every
might
JR
make 10
possession.
in a row.
Because
Yeah.
we've seen good JR that season with the Knicks when him and Steve Novak were going like shot for shot in the backcourt.
Yeah.
And, then we've
Oh,
also
that's
seen,
right, 2013.
Yeah,
he was good that year.
6 man of the year.
until he lost his mutant powers in the playoffs against
Yep.
what team?
One of the things I love
Celtics.
about the NBA, which I've grown up with my whole life, there's always a J.R. Smith.
Yeah.
There's always
Yeah.
that guy on a good team.
Just
Rasheed Wallace was a better version of it before, but he was the same thing. Like he fucked up on Robert Horry in
Yeah.
2005. Robert Horry's having this fantastic game, he's trying to save the Spurs in Detroit.
Mhm.
They call this out of bounds play. He's already red hot. He's got like the NBA Jam flames
yeah.
coming out of
He's
his
on
ass.
fire.
And they go to him and he's open and Rasheed leaves Horry to go chase the other guy. And
Why?
that's it.
Why?
And it was like J.R. Smith totally would have done that.
Yeah. 100%.
100,000%.
Did they ask him why afterwards?
I think he just fucked up. And
Yeah.
Rasheed was like one of the best defensive players in the league.
Yeah.
But that's
wild.
And he
part of
played
the
in Air
package.
Force Ones. I want to know. I want to make that a note.
That's
He played
a
in Air
savage-
Force
You have no
Ones.
kind of foot support on that.
Yo,
It's just straight.
Those are for
concrete.
like standing in front of the bodega. Those are not
Yeah.
for any athletic endeavor.
Can you
whatsoever.
even legally play in Air Force?
No. They made it.
You gotta have like a felony to
That's
play.
the
in Air Force
Rasheed
Ones.
rule.
well, they were like almost like hiking boots.
Yeah, they're heavy. They're
he
like
had-
10
they were
pounds
like
each.
10 They were
pounds.
high tops.
Yeah.
Yeah, the high top ones with the strap. I was like, bro, like, are you gonna sell weed or play basketball?
He's like a little bit of both. What you want?
Yeah, what you need? I got dimes,
Right?
And I got dimes.
Don't come below. Don't come to the circle unless you cop it.
Where do you guys stand on Kendrick Perkins being this menacing bodyguard in a suit who's
I
yelling
love
at
it.
everybody?
I love it. He's like the guy at the strip club that's like, big man, big man.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you
I'm gonna
once.
one more time. Don't
Tell
touch
you
the
one more
head.
time.
Don't touch the dancers. And you
stand
can't
by
smoke
you.
in here.
When I tell you about, take off the hat.
Take the hat off right
Take off the
now.
hat.
I told you no hats in here.
Your name's Kendrick. I'm scared.
Draymond was taunting him. Draymond was pretending he was
He's
a
a
cheerleader.
cheerleader? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my
I don't know
god.
if I taunt
Draymond?
Perk.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I mean, it's Draymond though. He's a you know.
I went the
Special case.
2012.
He's like the new Dennis Rodman. He's like just gets under your skin and gets in your head and like fucks with you.
Yeah, he's like a less drunk Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Or less whatever Dennis Rodman.
Whatever.
I don't.
His last couple years.
A less inebriated substance guy. You know.
I remember I had Steve Kerr on my podcast once talking about Jordan's last game against Utah. And he's like, Scotty had the bad back. And Dennis, it was really coming to an end there for Dennis. He just didn't elaborate. What's going on with that guy?
Oh, Dennis.
He's in the hotel room hitting the little tiny bottles.
Yeah. What'd you
Who
think
knows?
about what he said when he was like, he said there's absolutely no way I would play in the NBA today.
Steve Kerr said
Steve
that?
Kerr in my prime, like he said, I would never survive in the NBA today.
I still feel like if you can make threes, you can play.
Yeah, that's kind of.
He literally said that. I was like, I don't know. I mean, I kind of agree with you because you were a bull.
That's
and I
weird for
hate
him
the
to say
Bulls.
because he's a professional player. He's played in the NBA, and like every other regular person like myself, I think I'm physically fit to play in the NBA right now. Like,
I could
no
start for the
practice,
Knicks
whatever.
right now.
Let's go. Right?
Yeah, let's do it.
I could D up LeBron right now.
Yeah, for
Least-
sure.
I could hold him to at least 10.
LeBron would bully ball you.
No.
Like
no.
what he did to Curry. Did you see that one
It would
play?
be embarrassing. It would be. He'd probably
man.
throw the ball off my head.
Did you see that one play when he
was
was
talking shit to
backing
Curry?
on Curry, but he was
Just kind of like
he was
having his way with
ramming
him.
his shoulder, and they just don't know what to do calling fouls for LeBron
They
anymore.
don't.
It's like,
Yeah.
was that a foul? Was it?
I don't know.
He's
Should we let him
290
play?
pounds
Because he's so big.
Yeah,
and it's
what
just
is
like
it?
They're just hacking him, and like players that fouls other players get, you see LeBron just eat them.
Yeah.
Like
It's very similar to the Shaq thing.
Yeah.
When there was that 4-year stretch where it was like,
How can you foul him? He's a
Yeah.
he's
mountain.
turning around, the other guy's going flying backwards, and he's dunking.
Whose foul is
Is
that?
that-
Is that a charge? Or is that a blocking foul?
meanwhile, Chris Dudley was like, "That was a foul.
That was a
We
foul,
fouled
bro.
him."
Fuck you. That was a foul, bro.
Picking the basket out of his head. Yeah, I do. I really do think like, everybody's like LeBron versus MJ, all that stuff. To me, it's like Wilt,
Mhm.
Shaq,
Mm.
LeBron.
Yeah.
These three guys that could just overpower
What
everybody.
about Amari Stoudemire for the first 2 months
He
he was on
wasn't
the Knicks?
and the Knicks, the MVP run. He was like one of those Fast and Furious cars where people are like, "Yo, man, the RPMs are at 8."
Yeah.
And Vin Diesel's like, "No, we got it. Just one more mile." D'Antoni's like, 42 minutes a game for Amari.
And is D'Antonio a fraud? Like,
Ooh.
like as a Knicks fan, I feel like, yo, dude, you did what you
He
did.
did give you Linsanity.
Yeah, but then it's just
That
like,
was a happy 3 weeks for you.
yeah, but then it's like, bro, when you get to almost to the top of the mountain, you always blow it. Like I would make a joke I would tweet every Knicks game when it would come down to the last couple of seconds. I'm like, oh, here goes D'Antoni drawing up a game losing play.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like every time, bro.
You gotta respect Mr. Pringle though.
Don't you feel like there is something to a coach that seems like he's taking a shit in his pants in the last 4 minutes of a game 7? Like, he has that look on his face like
a lot
he's
of
just
pressure.
furious or
It's a lot of
because
pressure.
I always felt like John Calipari, I just wouldn't want to play for him. Where you look at my dude Brad Stevens, he's always calm. He might be dying inside, but we don't see it.
He's just
Yeah.
And I think
very
Steve
still
Kerr
face.
is for the most part like that. And I actually think Ty Lue is like that too.
yeah.
Where they're kind of just the same at all times.
I like Mike Woodson because he's like that unless he's like,
Because he might be half dead.
Yeah.
Also, but he's like the angry black uncle. Like sometimes he's just like, motherfucker.
But we saw Mike Woodson where he was like, he had to take care of that Nick team.
Yeah.
And that it wasn't a Nick team. It
He
was
was a
like
babysitter. That was a daycare.
it was like a daycare center for adults. Remember the
was
short guy that he just benched for no reason for I'm blanking on his name now.
You
One of the shortest players in the league. He dunked it on Yao Ming.
Nate.
Nate Robinson.
Nate Robinson.
How did I forget his name?
Yeah.
Sorry, Nate, I love you. But he just
Obviously, you
benched
didn't
him.
love him. You couldn't remember his
I
name.
can't remember his name, but I've been drinking. But he benched him, and then when he came back that game, when he went off for 35 points or something like that.
I'm going to love when you guys, the more and more as your star rises and people are like, you guys should produce this or do that. And the first documentary project you do is the 2013 Knicks.
All our documentaries
Oh,
are
like,
gonna
who
be.
wants this?
It's like,
Oh,
what
like,
do
we
this
do.
is for? We do. There's a whole Roy Hibbert section nobody understands.
All our
He
movies
killed
are going to be
Tyson Chandler.
about.
It's 20 minutes.
They're going to be very short timepieces of the Knicks. They'll just be like very specific. They'll be like, remember the third week of 2002.
The
They'll be like, what happened then? I was like, you got to watch. Find out.
You gotta watch.
This is how you know we're washed Knick fans, because I was watching the whole thing with Kevin Love and how he came on the court and possibly could have gotten suspended.
He was already on the court.
You know what I automatically thought of?
Yeah, I know where
What
you
was
went.
that thing? What was it about?
What I can't. One of those series you got boned over. Knicks, Miami.
Knicks Miami, what year?
It's all a
99.
blur of bad
94,
basketball to
94?
me.
94, Patrick Ewing was on the court.
No, it wasn't 94. It was like 96.
was that
wasn't it?
96? With
Yeah.
PJ Brown and
Yeah.
That was 96?
Was that?
I thought it was 99. When they were the 8th seed and the whole brawl happened and everybody got ejected and PJ Brown got suspended.
No,
and
no.
Was
But
that
that-
LJ?
Was that?
There was one where it was favorable to you guys. That
Yeah,
was
this one
99.
wasn't. This
Oh,
one-
yeah, no. Okay.
This was
This
the
one,
one when
like,
like all
mad
the
people got
dudes didn't
suspended.
play.
Yeah.
There's some bad basketball in the 90s with the Knicks. The
Oh,
Knicks, New
man.
Yorkers don't want to admit it.
Oh, we don't want to admit it because we lived it and it's terrible.
Do you think the most
But
Knick-
the Knicks were the only team to take Mike to 7 games consistently.
It is true.
You know what I'm saying?
By
Okay.
beating the
We-
living
we
shit
have
out
a-
of that dude.
We have
Yeah.
a banner hanging from Madison Square
Yeah.
Garden.
Like,
Took
we
Mike
we
to
took Mike to
7.
7 every time.
That parade was so good. Took him to 7.
But yo, there was other duos that didn't do it, like
It's true.
Kemp and Payton and Stockton Malone, like all these iconic Hall of Fame duos. They couldn't do it. But
Do you
Patton
think-
Starks did it.
The most Knicks thing ever would be LeBron actually signing with the Knicks this summer and then his body breaking down from that point on.
Absolutely.
that would
That-
happen. That would,
that would be
absolutely.
that's 50
That's
years
why I don't
of
want
Knicks
him to
history.
sign with the Knicks because I was
Yeah.
like, I knew once he signs with the Knicks, like his knees are gonna collapse, like everything's gonna be gone, like it'll be a wrap.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
LeBron
He
on
was
the
really
Knicks
well-conditioned.
just losing on like a Tuesday night by 30 points.
No.
Just getting booed.
Like
You really think LeBron is good enough to come here and save the Knicks?
I mean, LeBron and KP, bro. Like,
I gotta say,
It never
thi-
works like that for the Knicks, though. You know, it
This
never
was
works
the
like
year
that.
for me that proved that LeBron and any 4 guys could make the finals
That's-
because
yeah.
Jeff Green, who I rooted for and hurt my feelings many times,
Yeah.
and who's been on 6 teams, all of who took a long sample of him and then said,
We're good.
you know what we should do is get rid of Jeff Green,
Yeah.
who had never played 2 straight games well in his entire life that mattered. And then game 6, game 7 against Boston, he plays well both games. And it was because like LeBron like just sucked that performance out of him,
Yeah.
you
Didn't play
know,
better.
which is, I don't know. I'm starting to reevaluate how I feel about him.
LeBron makes mediocre players better.
He does.
Like
Because you
he
have a
makes
chance.
Like Jared
yeah.
Smith is
There's gotta be
a
something
guy.
to
He
see
might
him
be
on
out of the
court
league.
with you. Like
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I'm playing with LeBron.
Yeah.
You're gonna
You
step
know
your
what I
game
mean?
up.
Like dudes like JR and Jeff Green and Tristan Thompson is coming off the bench for every other
All right,
NBA
watch,
team in the
watch,
league.
watch the Jamaican slander.
You know what I'm saying?
Big up my
Like
man Tristan Thompson.
Is he Jamaican?
Yeah, that's why.
What do you
his
guys
name
think-
is like Trevor or some shit. It's like Tristan Trevor Thompson. Like
What do you think of the new? You'll love this story. So Tristan Thompson, Draymond,
Mhm.
Tristan Thompson does the "I'll see you over there."
Yeah.
Does the point, which is like I feel like that started the last 3 years. The point to the
So like a parking
runway.
lot or the
Well, let's go fight over there. Let's
Yeah.
get off the court.
Yeah.
So like 45 minutes later, we're in the back,
Mhm.
and the Oracle's like it's a million years old, and you gotta why, and the press conference room is so everybody's kind of there. And Tristan Thompson and Draymond Green are like 4 feet away from each other at one point. I'm like, is this gonna happen?
gonna
Should I get
happen?
some
It's gonna go
popcorn?
down. Yeah.
It's like they're not even making eye contact. It's like, what happened to?
yeah. What
Yeah.
was all that
happened to-
energy?
The
and they all
points.
say the same shit at the end of the game. Well, it's a passionate game. I showed emotion, blah, blah, blah. Whatever my agent told me to say.
Right.
Like, I don't know how, like, real that tension is. Like, I feel like there's some validity to it, like, in the moment.
No, the
But I don't
last
feel like
time.
they really want to kick each
No,
other's
the last
ass.
time you saw someone real. Remember when Melo was waiting for KD?
Oh.
Not KG. KG.
Yeah, Kevin Garnett.
With the whole.
Well,
that was a
Oh,
different. That
he
was
wanted,
different
he
energy.
wanted all the smoke. He was
He
on the
didn't want to.
team
He
bus.
didn't want to finish the game. Like he was just kind
He
of
talked
out
about
of
his
there.
girl.
Yeah, he was waiting at the bus. You got to admit that. Like,
It seems
and
like
a new hat too.
Yeah.
So,
it seems like that's the one place that's the one line.
ask Drake.
Yeah.
Ask Drake. Don't talk about
Moms,
people's girls.
girlfriends, mistresses, wives,
Wives. Yeah, we don't
Those
talk about
4.
any of them wives. You know,
and
how that ends
daughters,
for us.
obviously. But
Yeah.
I
We
don't think-
apologize
we
for
apologize.
actually,
to the
daughters
wife.
is probably the ultimate third rail. Nobody would say.
Oh
anything
yeah.
about
Oh
Space
my
Daughter.
god. Oh.
When LeBron
Cameron. Cameron did Nas's. He
I'm
mentioned-
saying in basketball.
Oh, okay. That's
But
different.
yeah.
Yeah,
When
what? Like someone's gonna say something to Steph Curry about Riley? Like, that's not.
Imagine.
Come on.
Imagine
you at the half court like, yeah. Riley looking cute. Like, no.
Imagine LeBron whispers some shit like that in his ear, like after blocking the layup.
Steph Curry would be like, "That's just weird. I'm not even mad."
It would just fuck up his whole head. Like he wouldn't even know what to do.
He's just chewing it like,
Like,
what was that?
I don't
So
know.
that play yesterday I thought was really interesting. So LeBron, the game's over. LeBron pins the Curry layup to the backboard and then talks shit to him. And Curry's like, "Come on, dude."
Yeah.
But kind of came at him and like stood his ground.
Yeah.
And then they went and LeBron gives him the bully shove. Klay Thompson kind of comes over. He wanders out of his smoky van.
Hey, I'm gonna do
Smoke-filled
something.
van.
I'm the human PBS logo. I'm here to serve
I see
justice.
conflict. And they something starts, but it did make me think, like, I think all these guys get along. They're on the Olympic team. Like, deep down, they're all
They're all
LeBron
kind
and
of
KD, they compete, but I'm sure they get along. They see each other, the 8-step handshake.
There's no
It's like when I
anger.
play 2K with my brother. Like, I love my brother, you know what I mean?
Right.
But when we play 2K, we're like mortal enemies.
But I don't think LeBron and Curry like each other.
No, I don't think so.
I think
Yeah,
that's like
they're
a
not
real
friends.
thing.
No.
I think when Curry won that 2 MVPs and became the beloved star of the league, and people are showing up to watch him warm up 2 hours for the game.
He came
And
from
LeBron is
Davidson.
like, "What the fuck? I'm the best player in the league," and I don't think they like each other.
Remember
I have
when
no evidence at all.
Curry was mocking him at the wedding?
Oh yeah, that's
Doing
right.
the-
Yeah.
Curry
Yeah.
mocked
Yeah.
him. LeBron tries to bully ball him.
And then LeBron did the whole RIP
On the cookies?
to the cookies thing. Like,
There's definitely they're competitors, but I think you're right. On a basic level, they probably do not like each other.
They're on each other's corner, right?
yeah.
And you know, like LeBron, he's talking about Curry, like his wife has a Food Network show. Why do we have to hear about his wife?
Why is
What a loser.
How's
JR,
he at the
what do you
dog?
think?
Yo, see my wife on TV
You
cooking.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
ridiculous.
Okay.
crazy.
Why is his kids all yellow? What's
Huh?
that about?
What's that?
Can we talk about the giant long beards?
You don't see my kids talking crazy at the press conference. They know where they place. They're children. They shouldn't be at the post.
Back in my day, children weren't in the post game.
Exactly.
What do you
He's not
Wait,
playing
what car
the game.
commercial is Steph Curry in now? Is he also doing Kia?
Hell no.
Because he had an ad yesterday where he was driving.
My rule is if you're doing a car commercial, you have to drive the car.
Well, LeBron says he drives his Kia.
I mean, he lives in Cleveland. I believe it.
Yeah.
I just don't believe it.
That's a Benz. That is a Benz in Cleveland.
Yo, he's killing it in Cleveland.
I think LeBron
He's like,
has.
he got the K900. Oh, shit.
LeBron has cars where the doors go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a normal car.
He probably takes
door
the Kia
goes
to like
up.
Trader Joe's and shit. You know what I mean? Like, shh.
Can
And
LeBron
wears like
fit in
a
a
fake,
Kia?
put like, shades on and like a little pork pie hat. And goes to get his like, the shrimp linguine or whatever he likes. at
What do you
Trader
think
Joe's.
happens to LeBron when he retires? Because like Kobe has been kind of fascinating. What's happened with him since he retired?
I think LeBron would be a great analyst. Like in that vein of Kobe, where Kobe like breaks down games or whatever, but like even better.
Yeah.
Like how we mentioned last time we were here, like how A-Rod is such a great analyst.
Are we sure A-Rod's a great analyst?
I love A-Rod as an
Okay, we
analyst,
still
man.
like him?
Yeah, for now.
I
For now.
love him.
That
We
Yeah.
can
booth
listen to
is-
him. We can listen to him.
That booth's awkward. It's the ESPN Sunday Night booth's awkward. Yeah, it's awkward.
If you have him and Poppy on the same show, that's entertainment. Or him and Pedro on the same show, that's entertainment.
I just don't understand baseball announcing.
What do you mean?
Why the conversation can only resemble a certain type of conversation. Like they would never be like, "Hey, ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, it's the three of us.
Right.
We're doing 9 innings." People like they'd have
Their
fucking
heads would
stroke.
explode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 80-year-old dude in like
What are they talking
Boca
about?
Raton,
They're talking
Florida.
too fast.
Oh my god!
It's hard to do baseball announcing. There was a Yankee game the other day, and it wasn't even a blowout or anything. It was a very close game. I think it might have been the Red Sox series or whatever. The announcers were talking about what materials were used in different bridges around the boroughs.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I was like, it's the fourth
I
inning.
mean,
You
it's a lot of
guys
hours.
run
You
out
got
of
a lot of
stuff?
hours to kill.
I saw John Sterling turned 80. It's the only sport where, as you get older, it's actually an advantage. to be
Yeah,
a
people
baseball
love you more.
announcer.
They're like, oh, wow, I
he's
can't wait.
110.
My favorite
He
part
saw
of
Lou Gehrig.
my
What an
favorite part of
accomplishment.
Yankee radio broadcast is just hearing him try to predict if it's a home run or if it's like a fly
Yeah,
ball.
yeah, yeah.
Because it's like, it's gone, it's far, it's
It's
on. He
gone.
catches up second base.
Oh, he's gonna makes the catch with room.
That was like Marv Albert in the Pacers series with Victor Oladipo and Darren Collison. He had no idea.
Yeah.
It was a coin flip each time.
It's like,
2 for Collison.
Oladipo, collard greens to the rack. Like, what?
I
Collard
can't
greens?
see. Once they start mixing up the dudes, it gets tough.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
gets
Marv Roberts has a checkered past.
Said checkered pass. Wow. Wow, all my millennials Google that. See what we mean.
To say the
Marv
least.
Albert's all New York though. I thought you would blindly defend Marv Albert.
Oh, you
I do.
we blindly fed, but that was wild.
That was wild.
That was where I was like, wow, and I was like, Marv Albert.
As the details came out, it got weirder and weirder. At first, it was just like, oh, you had a woman up in your room.
Yeah.
Potential sex worker, whatever. I don't know. Maybe your girlfriend. Oh, you bitter? That's weird.
Bang!
But
like,
no
oh,
kink
wow.
shaming, whatever. Oh, you were also wearing women lingerie? Okay, cool, fine. Hey, whatever.
It was a different NBA.
Yeah.
It was different.
Different times.
I don't know if LeBron
They let him
survives.
play.
I don't know if LeBron survives that NBA.
There was no hand checking.
What do you expect from
I don't even want to know what you mean by that.
What do you expect from LeBron going forward? Do we expect like angry Denzel last 45 minutes of Man on Fire?
How would you feel after that ending of game one? How would you feel coming into game two?
I was texting a buddy of mine today, and I sent this text unironically and didn't realize how crazy it was till after I looked at it again. I was like, no, I think they can win too. LeBron just needs to get 45.
Yeah.
But I said it like
it's not like
it was like he's going to get Cheetos from the fridge or something.
Because,
like, oh, LeBron, yeah.
And that's why I always say, like, yo, listen, my youthful hatred for Michael Jordan aside, you expect him to do that. Like,
this is what Jordan was like, though. Remember, by the 93 playoffs, you're like, oh, they're down 2-1. Oh,
he'll drop 55.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. No big deal.
He get 50. What was the game 4 against the Knicks? He got 55. The game
double
before Charles
nickel,
Smith.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it's so easy for him now.
Yeah.
And after that game one loss, like he might just come in on a whole new level.
In the Celtics series, in that game 7, when he had that, like it was the last when Morris grabbed him, like he had the ball and he was just kind of like he was running up court like at a normal speed, and then he just hit the half court line and turned into this weird gear, the LeBron gear, and just zoomed up the court. And just went to yam it, but then like this guy grabs him, so he's just like, "Oh, I'm just gonna switch into a layup and
just put it in,
totally
like
control my body," and like, despite having a 7-foot tall grown man who weighs 300 pounds hanging off my back, like, how do you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
he had one of those yesterday.
Yeah,
like with like 2.5 minutes left, he did the drive and he went into somebody full speed, bounced backwards, held the ball in the air, and then flipped it one-handed. It's like,
and I was like, wow.
In person, that was,
it's nuts.
Like, holy
I'm like,
fucking shit.
Yeah.
So he was so close to a victory already, and then to have it snatched away. So he still has, he still has a taste in his mouth. He's coming in for blood game 2.
I think
he was so mad that I was scared.
J.R.
I didn't know
Smith,
if he was just going to look at me and be like, fuck that guy.
Fuck, I hate you.
What are you looking at, Bill?
I heard what he said.
You kind of look like Skip Bayless. I'm going to kill you.
You're all like...
And when he stormed out the press conference, that was the most aggressive yet sassy exit I've ever seen. Because he walked out, he was like, no, I'm not taking this.
He grabbed this
Let me
person,
grab my
like,
bag.
I'm out of here.
I was like, that's a big ass bag, LeBron.
Yo.
But he's so big, I can't say. I'm like, that's a cool bag.
I like that bag, yo.
Could I get one?
What are some better moves than what James Harden and Chris Paul do, which is just they give one-sentence answers and they're just assholes?
Yeah.
LeBron does the storm out of the press conference. Nobody like mocks these guys.
Yeah,
Steve Kerr
there's
did
no-
that, and Steve Kerr did
we need
that in
more
Game 7 against the
sarcasm.
Rockets.
Yeah.
I know. We need more sarcasm, though.
Yeah, we do.
Like,
Popovich is the
we
master.
need,
What was JR's state of mind? I don't know. What am I, a fucking psychologist?
Yeah.
You know what? Let me call
Do you
him.
know
Next
J.R.
question.
Smith?
Yeah.
Like, y'all motherfuckers report on this shit. You know J.R. Smith? What do you think was on his mind besides Hennessy?
He said
You
he
know
doesn't
what I
drink Hennessy. He says he does not. He said he
J.R.
does
Smith
not.
does not drink
He says he
Hennessy.
does not drink Hennessy.
Man, and I.
But he also said
right.
he
And I
also thought
pull
they had
out.
the lead. So I mean,
Yeah, right.
anything is possible.
Yeah. I'm circumcised.
Durant. I think Durant thought George Hill was going to make that free throw.
I thought so too.
He decides not to box out J.R. Smith, by the way. If J.R. Smith puts that back in, everybody's like, Kevin Durant, he quit on the play.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did J.R. Smith save LeBron yesterday from being because if they lost, does the blame go on? If say the whole debacle at the end with JR missing the shot or whatever, and somehow that same play happens and Curry wins, Curry hits that shot, they go ahead and he misses the free throw.
Yeah.
Does LeBron get the blame for that game, or who gets the blame for that?
Well, from Skip Bayless, he would. But
Yeah.
From the
get
normal
the blame
human
because he
beings.
passed to George Hill over
Yeah.
taking it himself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. LeBron always seems to make the right play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm turning into like a LeBron
You know what?
apologist. I don't like it.
It's not even apologist, bro. It's reality. Like and when they break it down at the end of the game, you do this for a living, bro. You see, like they'll break it down and they'll be like, hey, LeBron has this guy over here and this guy over here. This is the better pass. Like, he has a split second to make this decision. He can make the pass to this guy or he can make the pass to this guy. This is the proper, you know what I mean, move to make. And he makes that move in like a millisecond.
Tim Legler did a
he
good
does
job
that all the time.
Tim Legler broke down after Game 7 how LeBron was using Jaylen Brown on defense to decide what he was going to do to attack the Celtics on each play. So, like, if Jaylen Brown went over here, he would slide in and then find this other guy. And it was all like, LeBron was playing chess and Jaylen Brown didn't even know who's on the board. He's like, 20 okay. It's like, how'd that happen again?
As much as I hate the Celtics, like, everybody on that team is like 19 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Including the coach. So it's like, you know, you can't, you know.
Our best player had no idea he was our best player.
Yeah, you know,
he would make 2 great plays and then he'd
mom was
stay
like,
in the
you're
corner.
the best, you're the best. And he was like,
Jesse, go get the ball.
Me? Is that me?
Oh. No, LeBron.
So predictions for the rest of the series?
That's a good question. Because after I was like, let me see game 1. I don't think sweep. I do not think sweep.
No, absolutely not. I actually predicted on a podcast that LeBron was going to come back from the deficit that they faced last time.
On your podcast?
Yeah. And
so this is a Sloppy Seconds podcast prediction?
Yeah, I didn't even hear it.
No.
I
believe that LeBron can pull this off. And
you think LeBron can win the series?
I think LeBron can win the series. All he needs is one person to give him like 25 points or 30 points. One person.
Kevin Love?
Anybody. Kevin Love, fucking
Tristan
Thompson. Literally anybody. Some help. Because he's angry now, bro. Like, he's pissed off. So he's gonna go, like, he's probably at home doing like the CrossFit ropes right now, like on a ball.
He's like got
in
a
a
medicine
pool.
ball.
Yeah, like he's
in a
like,
hyperbaric
spinning it on
chamber
his
of the
head,
bench.
like,
But think about it. He's doing all
curling
that
his
working
kids.
out. He's doing all that working out. And what's J.R. Smith? So we're like,
yeah. So guess how many touches J.R. Smith is gonna get in this next game? Probably like 3. If he comes off the bench.
And the worst part is, watch J.R. Smith be super hot. Watch J.R. Smith have one of those games where he can't miss anything except the most important shot at the end of the game.
Yeah.
You know how it works.
Well,
but I don't think sweep. I do not think sweep. I think we're gonna get a good competitive
Interesting
series.
Yeah.
I was actually glad that game 1 was kind of even. I didn't want to see like a total blowout kind of thing.
I felt at the end of the last playoffs, Durant and LeBron were like this, like same level. Maybe Durant was like a little smidge higher because he was a better 2-way player, and now it just seems like this.
You think KD's a better defender than LeBron?
I thought he was last year.
Oh, okay.
I just think he works harder because I think LeBron has to do so much for his team.
Yeah.
He's picking spots to save himself.
Right. Yeah.
Like even in this series, he's like, I'll guard Draymond Green. And it's like, yeah, because you can leave him open by 10 feet.
Imagine
he's gonna
LeBron
miss.
was like an 80% free throw shooter, or like an 85% or high 80s% free throw shooter.
Right, and that's
Like,
probably the biggest nitpick we'd have at
that's
this
it.
point.
Yeah.
Like he can't. Like he
Other
blows
than-
free throws. Like,
I mean,
that's it.
how do you feel about his hair these days? I know it's a big topic.
I wear hats all the time, so I'm not allowed to comment on
Yeah,
people's hair.
me too,
Like,
yeah.
like LeBron, I feel the struggle.
Would
Also,
you-
you have a lot of money, you could get hair plugs. So
Would you just shave it though if you're him?
Yeah. Like he has he's like. But then the Jordan comparisons will really start. Like,
yeah, he might
What
not
about
have the bald
beard?
head.
What
for
about the giant long beard?
I
He
don't
looked
love
weird
it.
bald that one time we did see him with it fully cut off and before the season when he was working out. So I wouldn't recommend that for him. He's a little scary.
What about the neck beard though?
the beard? I mean, kind of works.
It's a
but
playoff beard
It's a beard.
It makes it easy to have like a LeBron Halloween mask.
with a beard.
Well, because you could be like a little 8-year-old kid. You could have that or just be like the giant beard.
But see, I think most people
You don't
see
wanna
that. They
take it to
think
Harden
Harden
levels, though.
levels. Yeah.
Yeah. Because then it's just like, yo, you're biting my style. You know what I mean?
Well, it kind of feels like he is though.
Good. Harden's beard is definitely
Harden's kind of
beard.
like I was here in the beard corner first.
Yeah.
And then Tyson Chandler tried to get on here.
Yeah.
And
If
I was
LeBron
on
Harden's
Beard
beard
Island.
is like some other shit, bro. Because like you could barely see
Yeah.
his mouth.
If LeBron wanted to claim the beard
There's like
from
strip
Harden, there's
joint
nothing
receipts
Harden
in
could do
there,
about
the
it.
corks.
He just has like his ID in it against his arena.
James Harden's bottom of his face looks like an extremely hairy ass. Like his mouth is like the bubble, and like everything else is just beard. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know what asses you've been looking at, my friend.
like my own in the mirror.
Yeah.
When I check
Don't
my
need that
words.
visual.
We'll be breaking this down on Kobe Bryant's detail tonight.
What's your prediction for the series? What are you thinking?
I thought 5.
Mhm.
As the game was going yesterday, I thought 6. And now I think 5 again. Because Cleveland should have won last night, and they didn't. And you can't give away finals games.
Yeah,
It's never worked ever in the history of the league.
I love that quote right there because that's what I'm going to say when I'm old and drunk at bars. I think it's really deep to a young kid. I'll be like, can't be giving away finals games.
Can't be finals games.
You only got 7.
That shit.
You only got 7.
You know what 7
Give
means?
away 1, you only got 6 left.
7 means
every
you get
position
4
counts.
chances to win.
Every position, but that's a real thing though. Like
It's
every
a real
position
thing.
counts.
Yes.
Like it's dead
Here's
serious.
the thing. You know it's hard? Winning 5 of 7 games.
Yeah.
So this is basically what they have to do now because it's like they won yesterday, even though they didn't, and now they have to win another 4. And I don't know. Usually game ones are the
I think they'll win all the
games.
home games. I think they'll win all the home games.
They'll win
And I
one
think
of them.
if they, I think they still win at Oracle.
What-
Honestly, I believe
conditioning
in the
trick
power of
does-
LeBron.
What conditioning trick does LeBron have left at this point, other than just taking the blood cells of his children and like injecting
he
them
must
right
be-
in his
I mean,
forehead?
while we joke, let's not forget didn't they once turn off the AC on him, and that didn't stop him.
The Spurs.
Yeah.
You think that was intentional?
that was
That was definitely intentional.
a big old arena like that. You can't get the AC working before a playoff game, and there's no backup system or anything.
I was doing TV that year, and I was wearing a suit, and I mean, we all almost passed out.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how hot it was in there. It was like 115
How would they
degrees in there, and we're trying to do live TV, and like all of us, the makeup's like pouring off
Pouring
our
their
face.
faces, yeah. And then
And
LeBron is over there like
Yeah.
running up and down the court at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Listen,
playing-
if they did that, that was smart. If that was
Gotta
intentional,
try.
Let's
Tighten
talk.
the rims or
Let's
something?
talk Yankees Red Sox really quick.
Yeah.
So
really
the
quick.
The rookie comes in.
All our Yankees Red Sox conversations are like Yankees Red Sox games. They last 4.5 hours.
And no one wants to hear him.
And nobody wants to hear
Red Sox and Yankee
and
fans.
nobody wants to hear him except the Yankees or Red Sox.
There's a
fans.
Met fan. Like, are they gonna talk about Mets or not? No, we're not.
Quick break to talk about Hotel Tonight. My friends, if you're like me and you're not so great at planning ahead, I've got good news. Our friends at Hotel Tonight have an awesome app that help you find amazing hotel deals at the last minute. Book next week tonight. Book next month tonight. All it takes is 10 seconds, 3 types in a swipe. No long, endless lists of a zillion hotel choices. Hotel Tonight only shows you the best deals at the best hotels. Perfect whether you're a planner or you like to leave things to the very last minute. As you've heard me say, I've used it multiple times for multiple youth soccer tournaments in various parts of Southern California. Oh, yeah. And with Hotel Tonight's HT Perks program, the more you book, the better the deals get. Unlike other loyalty programs where you're trapped into staying at boring chain hotels. Oh, no. You start scoring amazing deals all over the place with the HT Perks program. Just start now. Incredible hotels, amazing deals. Download the Hotel Tonight app right now. And while we're here, the Rewatchables podcast is back. We did Social Network. We did Training Day. Training Day was one of my favorite ones we've done because we really went deep dive on Denzel and got into a legitimate argument about 90s Denzel versus 90s Tom Hanks. Me, Sean Fennessy, Chris Ryan. It was really good. It's one of the best things we do. I would encourage you to subscribe. We have 18 more episodes coming over the next 18 weeks. The Rewatchables, one of my favorite pieces of content to do, period. Anyway, back to Desus and Mero. All right, Red Sox, Yankees, the rivalry's back.
Yeah.
The big
It feels
change.
good. It feels good.
Yeah, we
feels
talked
good.
about this the last time. The big change was your rookie came up, and he's been awesome.
Glaber.
And
Glaber.
now the Yankees are flexing a little bit.
You know, we got a couple
Yeah.
of what the doctor called Glaber pains.
Yeah.
That's right, Mike Francis. I'm coming for your job. No, it's exciting. It's fun to watch baseball again. Like the energy around Red Sox Yankees, I know is great now because other people are getting annoyed. Other people are like, no one cares about the Red Sox and Yankees, and Red Sox fans and
I
Yankee fans
miss
are
it
like,
so much.
excuse you,
Yeah.
excuse you.
Excuse me.
cities that play baseball.
Well, they don't matter.
Yeah,
Sorry,
guess what?
Houston.
Fuck you.
People were just like,
Yeah.
the greatest rivalry in sports is. I was like, I better hear Red Sox Yankees come out your mouth.
Yeah.
Because if not, I don't know what we're talking about here.
Huh?
I like having the Astros involved too, though. It's
Yeah,
like
but
this
it's funny
third.
because,
It's like a
like,
3-man
It
wrestling
is,
match. Or
but it's just
something.
like, it's kind of like, all right, slow down.
Yeah, relax.
Slow down.
You're new here.
You're new here. You
Yeah.
won last year. Because they're like, yeah, we're get 2 rings this year. I was like,
Keep
it down.
Chill. You guys sucked for
I was
an
like, not for nothing.
eternity.
You're being disrespectful to the Red Sox also.
Yeah.
Like, this is our beef between them. Like, you guys will do what
Yeah.
you visit.
Like,
Try
don't
to
come in
take
with. It's like the Astros coming in with a steel chair. Like, no,
It's like-
no,
yeah, get
no.
out of the ring.
It's like when you're fighting with your older brother and then your little sister gets it. You're like, whoa.
Whoa, what are you
come
doing
on,
here?
Like, stop.
Get out of here.
You can get in
If I
trouble
hit
with
you,
mom.
Dad is gonna get mad. Like, come on.
And it really
Yeah.
bothers Astro fans that because they'll come to Yankee Stadium and we know nothing about the Astros because we're idiot Yankee fans, so we don't know people's names. We're just
No.
like, who's the short horse jockey guy?
The guy,
He's
little guy.
annoying.
The little guy. I hate this fucking little guy. The little league guy.
Why is he allowed to be so short? His center of gravity was the strike zone.
Yeah, what is the strike zone? What's it for him?
Well, that's like that's why Verlander's so important. Like Verlander, nice pictures.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love him. Verlander, and he got booed coming out the game. Did you see that? Because he put it on us. He put it on us.
Yeah, he did.
Well-deserved pitching.
Shout out to him.
Pitching
performance.
He's
But then
juicing,
he was
he's
like leaving,
juicing.
and he's getting booed by Yankee Stadium, and he's just like, nah, I don't care. But he was like, I'm fucking Justin Verlander. He was like, he tipped his hat to everyone. They started booing louder.
Yeah.
I was like, you talk your talk, Justin.
There is a buzz that's back in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
It's starting to feel like the old stadium on TV.
Mhm.
I haven't been there in person yet to see it, but
It feels like
the TV vibe and the standing on two strikes, like it's all starting to
Yeah,
feel like
it's all
the
coming
Yankees
back.
again.
And then
but
there's
it's taken
always-
10 years.
It's taking
And
10
always
years.
like they'll always pan over to like the random like Teamster guy and like
Yeah.
the old Babe Ruth shirt.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
yeah, fuck yeah, get him,
He's got
Severino,
a
that's my
sandwich in his hand
guy.
and a beer. He's like,
Yeah, Cy
real,
Young, here we come, baby.
a real blue collar type guy. But yeah, after it
Blue
feels
collar.
like
Brett Gardner's gutty.
Yeah.
A lot of grit.
Cardi B.
you got anywhere I could put my lunch pail? Like, all right.
It's funny when Brett Gardner's like the elder statesman now of the Yankees. Like I remember when he was like, the young speedster.
He's weirdly clutch though.
Yeah.
He is.
I'm always afraid when he comes up
Yeah.
in big spots against the Red
He-
Sox.
I don't know when he
hit
became
that
that
big
player.
Davinsky homer against Davinsky the
Yeah.
other night.
And he gets those little bullshit pop-ups
Yeah, man.
that just fall
He
right
works
when you need
counts.
them.
Where he does what Cano used to do, where he would just go make a pitcher throw 100,000 pitches and that.
That's the thing.
He can-
foul it
yeah,
off,
he can
foul it
foul
off,
off
foul it
all
off, foul
day.
it off, foul it off.
It's a fucking struggle to get him
Yeah.
out.
I love
You need
watching
guys like that in a
the
playoff
art.
team.
I love the art of people fouling off an 0-2 pitch
Yeah.
and just keep fouling.
Yeah,
fouling,
fouling it off on
fouling it.
purpose. Like, yo, go ahead, keep
We
throw into your
do this
awful
all
zone.
day, baby. Let's
Yeah.
go.
I know you're on the pitch count, you jerk
Matter of
off.
fact, I'm gonna step out the box, slow the game down a little more, and I'm just
Yeah.
at home like.
Did we
Line up.
do a pod after the Joe Kelly fight when he came to Yankee Stadium? I don't think we did.
No, we didn't. We didn't do.
That's when I really felt like the rivalry was back.
That's when it came
when
back.
he came out of the bullpen and the fans are. I was like, all right.
because to have a
And it's
villain
funny
like
'cause,
that
like,
is
a
like,
guy like Joe Kelly
Yeah.
on the Yankees
Got
would
the
be
weird goofy
beloved.
glasses.
Oh my God.
Yeah, with the
Oh,
glasses.
he'd be the greatest player ever.
Everybody in Staten Island would be like, Joe Kelly, that's
Joe
my
Kelly.
guy. That's a
Yeah.
guy right there.
We'd have him in Monument Park before the season's even
Oh,
done.
my
Yeah.
God.
Just retire his number.
You'll have. There will be another fight between these two teams.
Oh,
There
for
has to be.
sure.
There has to be.
100,000.
It's gonna
It'll be an
be-
8-2 game on a Friday night, and somebody will throw at somebody.
Yeah,
and-
CC Sabathia's gonna pile drive somebody on the pitcher's mound. Like, I can't wait.
It's good, man. Now you only need the Knicks to come back.
See, why
Yeah.
we were having a good time.
They can.
What do you have? The 8th pick, 10th pick, 9th pick,
Ninth pick.
9th pick.
You never know. You never know. Like,
It's one of those weird drafts where like the 9th pick could be the second best guy in the draft.
yeah.
Yep.
Like, you never know. Like, that's the thing about the draft is just like, dude, you look back in history, and there's guys that would pick like 28th, 27th.
Donovan Mitchell, 13.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like, wow, like we passed up on this guy. No, you didn't pass up on him.
Yeah, it
the
wasn't
scouts,
guaranteed.
your scouts were trash, and they didn't see something, or the guy developed in the league or whatever. Like,
There's
also,
a lot of guys in this draft too that with the Knicks fans, where if you talk to them before the draft, be like Trae Young, he's hot garbage. He'll suck.
He'll
He's too
suck.
small.
He's no Steph
Or like
Curry.
Michael Porter, he won't stay healthy, but then if the Knicks take them, like Trae Young, he's gonna own MSG.
Listen, that's,
Yeah.
that's
It'll
the
be
beauty.
first-
That's
the
the beauty
first-
of the Knicks. That's the beauty of the Knicks.
Look.
We went to the NBA drafts where they picked Kristaps.
We booed.
were at Barclays
you're going
Center.
nuts.
We
Fuck
was
that
like,
guy.
it was like,
Oh,
when
my
we
God.
walked out, so it was like, who is who?
what the fuck?
Who the fuck is
Oh,
this
my
guy?
God. We
The
were-
whole crowd is just boo. Like,
Oh, it was out of control. We were in the elevator going down in Barclays, and everybody from Long Island was in that elevator. Like, I can't believe this garbage. You're not a fucking Euro guy.
Watch, he's gonna hurt his back. He's probably never gonna play in the league.
This guy's just gonna be a dunk machine. He's the fucking poster to get dunked on. This guy's garbage.
Shout out to our guy, Real Life Cast. He threw a NBA draft party for the night where they picked Kristaps. It was in Midtown Manhattan. He's on camera. He takes his Knick hat and tosses it off the side of the building.
Seriously?
Seriously. Now people replay it now.
I remember how fast this flipped though, because all the Knicks fans I knew were furious.
Oh,
Then
livid.
there's a summer league game, and he went against Okafor,
Mm-hmm.
and all the Knicks fans watched it,
We were like,
ready
whoa.
to be like, "Oh, let's watch this game, and we'll shit on Porzingis together."
Yeah.
And then the game's gone, and they're like,
Oh, wait.
"Ooh, wait a second,
This guy's 7 for 3.
Is he
Can do a
better than
crossover?
Okafor?"
Yeah.
Hey, did you notice Okafor can't score on him? Hey,
Yeah.
did you see that 3? And then by the end
It
of the game,
started
everybody's
going.
like, "We're in."
Yeah.
I remember
And
he
it's
was,
funny,
he
'cause
was
I was-
trending on Twitter, and I was like,
Yeah.
he broke
Oh,
his
You
leg
thought
or
he like,
something.
yeah, he got hurt.
And it's funny because I was like kind of pro Okafor at first, and I was just like, wait a minute.
Isn't that who we wanted? We went to
Yeah,
the
it
draft.
was
We
like-
wanted him.
It was a rare Knicks break.
Yeah, I was-
really like the Sixers could have taken Porzingis and you get Okafor, and then he's
Everything
a disaster.
different.
And it's like,
Listen,
oh,
man.
we're one pick away from Porzingis.
I'll admit, as a Knicks fan, like we don't know shit. Like we're just blindly Knicks fans. Like,
Yeah.
bro, I wanted them to draft Malik Monk. You know what I mean? Like, who I didn't realize was 5'8" at the time.
He's not. Don't give up on Malik. That's who I thought they should take it to. But yeah, Mitchell passing on him. Is
Yeah.
not.
And didn't LeBron say something about that? Like, oh, he's a diamond in the rough or something like that. Like he's
I'm in on Malik Monk. The thing we always learn with the NBA is these guys go to the wrong teams and it doesn't go well for them. And then they end up on the right team and all of a sudden we're like, oh, this guy's good.
This guy's great.
Could you imagine if Steph Curry ended up on the Knicks on that draft? He would not be the Steph Curry he is now.
Well, he would have gotten hurt.
Yeah.
Because he had those ankle things, and the Warriors were really smart about trying to help him. And you got to relearn how you walk and shoe lifts. all
Knicks
this
would have been
shit
like,
that-
get out there and play.
Yeah,
Give me 40.
You're fine.
Play defense. Actually, I mean, if you want
What the
to,
fuck is wrong with you? Huh?
play defense because Melo isn't.
Now, Dan Tony definitely would have played him 43 minutes
Oh,
a
are you
game.
kidding me?
And
58
given him
minutes.
7 stress fractures. Curry would be on the show with you right now. He'd be a 3-man show.
Once a Nick, always a Nick. Give it up for retired Nick legend Steph Curry.
Remember that game? He had 30 points.
He's like, yeah, I remember that. Like, what was that? Like, 02?
That was before your ankle splintered in 9 directions.
I was like, how far do you think you would have went? You think you would have gotten a ring eventually in the league? He's like, well, I never know.
You could have made an all-star team, right?
You know, I mean,
I
just
no
got-
longer have ankles, so you're gonna have to carry me out of here. But
So what I remember from the 3 seasons I played was, it was just wonderful. A lot of praises to God and such.
you know, when the garden was eaten.
Steph would.
Like, yo, come on, man.
We're just sitting there. I'm like, what is this? A rain delay? Is the Yankee gonna
I
start?
feel like we've said this several times on your podcast. Like, I feel like the Knicks are not gonna be good until James Dolan either disappears
Yeah.
on like the Lost Island.
I think we should be
Or-
legally required to say it each time.
Yeah.
Can
Here's the thing.
the commissioner do something about that? Can the commissioner say, look, you're running this team terribly? Because, they stopped the Chris Paul trade. Like, why can't they step in and be like, yo, you're the owner of this team, but you're running it into the ground? And
it's his team.
This is a
And
historic franchise.
it's still printing money. It's still
I
making money
think
for the
Dan
league,
Gilbert
like they
might
could.
be the only unlikable, probably not that good owner who's actually succeeded. All right, so why did he succeed? He won the lottery with LeBron, who's one of the 2 best players of all time.
And then Kyrie.
LeBron left, and he won 3 lotteries in 4 years. He got Kyrie, and he got the pick to trade for Kevin Love. And,
Yeah.
if none of that stuff happens, he might just be James Dolan in the
Yeah.
Midwest.
Yeah.
We don't
Except
know.
James Dolan is opening for Jewel. So how do you feel?
Is that true?
Yeah, he went on tour with her.
He's opening for Jewel.
JD in the short shots.
Yes.
JD in the straight shot.
straight shots. Sorry, James.
Come on.
Who was the name of the actor that has to pay for his seats now because he kept slandering the Knicks?
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
He was on my podcast. That's
Yes.
how I broke that story.
Look at
Was that a
you.
story?
Look at.
Yeah, I
The
didn't know.
muckraking over here.
First of all, Ethan Hawke was one of the best guests I've had in like 2 years.
Yeah?
Second of all, he's a real basketball fan. And third, I had no idea he feuded with JD in the straight shot.
Who knew? Who
Yeah.
knew? I'm looking at all these people.
You
I
guys
know-
would like Ethan Hawke. You should have him on your
We're
show.
trying.
He
We're trying
was
to make it
honestly
happen.
one of the best guests I've had.
I don't
He's
know
like
he
one of
was-
the cool people when you see him sitting courtside Madison.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
shit,
he's
I know
relevant.
you. Yeah.
And then Steve Sharif was just grabbing the camera, like, look at me, I'm Steve Sharif.
Look
I
at
was
me,
Sopranos.
Bobby Bacala.
Yeah,
Look
still
at me.
over here.
Hey.
I got my little Bell steak sandwich. That's why I
Hey.
came here. I'm leaving now.
Out on. R.I.P. James Gandolfini. You're my guy.
Well, he's also one of those. Yeah, I remember in '91, I was there with River Phoenix when Jordan dunked on. Like he
got
was
this-
at games with famous
Yes.
people.
Right, yeah.
So what's going on with your show?
Man, we're
Same
killing
thing,
it.
plugging away.
Still
Yeah,
plugging away,
plugging
still
away,
going
man.
at who we got coming up. We actually have Pusha T is going to be on the show coming up.
Yeah.
That
That should be
a good
very
interview.
interesting. And
assuming
Drake
he's
might come
alive
up from
by
behind
then.
stage and like hit him with a steel chair.
If one of them doesn't kill the other.
Nobody's killing nobody.
Nobody's killing nobody. Yeah, it's
That's
rap.
right. The days
Somebody
of
asked me,
rappers killing each
what do
other
you-
is-
and it's funny because somebody asked me like on Twitter, like somebody's career is gonna get ended. I was like, nobody's career is gonna get ended.
It's 2018.
Pusha T is like backed by Kanye. Drake is Drake. Like
Also, Pusha T's fans are older. Like I'm a Pusha T. There's very little Pusha T could do right now to make me turn my back on him. If he,
I
like,
never
came
think
out.
it's the guys. It's always the guys around the guys
Yeah.
that seem to cause the problems. I will say this though, as somebody who loved reading everything about the Biggie Tupac thing in the moment and was always fascinated by that story. Now there's like too much material on it.
Yeah.
There's miniseries and documentaries, and it's like,
Where's all this material?
guess what? I'm okay with not knowing who killed either guy.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
You got the gist.
Yeah.
You don't have to see
You know
rewatch
what?
it.
You know what happened? They made songs about how they wanted to kill each other, and then they both died.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what
And
they're like.
Probably
Oh,
some shady dudes did it.
they're like
I'm
Biggie
good.
versus Pac coming to theaters. I was like, I'm not gonna sit down and pay
Johnny
to see
Depp's in
this.
that.
I'm like, no, I don't want. I know the general story. Like,
Who did Johnny Depp play? Tupac?
Johnny Depp's playing like the police sergeant. Yeah.
he's playing Biggie in a fat suit,
He plays everybody like Eddie Murphy. Like it's an Eddie Murphy.
but he's
movie.
using his accent from Pirates of the Caribbean.
He plays
That's
Suge Knight.
That's how I would say Tyler Perry is Biggie versus Tupac. Oh, Tyler Perry's playing 7 guys.
Biggie, how you doing, Biggie?
Hello.
Holla if you hear me.
Nothing else to plug?
What
San
else we got?
Francisco, why are you here?
We're here for Clusterfest.
Yeah, Clusterfest.
It already have happened by
It
the
already
time
happened,
people
but
are
time,
South
but you-
San Francisco having a lovely time here. We have a show in Chicago. We got one in Atlanta coming. We got Seattle. We coming. That's going to be an exciting show.
Yeah, Seattle's
Seattle. Never been to Seattle.
Seattle sold out. I mean, was sold high numbers super fast. I was very surprised.
So it's
Shout out to
it's-
the Pacific Northwest.
I'm gonna drop third person on myself here. It's a Bill Simmons' favorite city.
Hey,
Yeah, you like it?
Seattle.
What's good about it?
If
I've
they had
never
an
been.
NBA team, I think I would have moved there at some point.
really?
I just like it over there. I like the people. They love basketball. They like all the things I like there.
Recreational
It's just
is
cool.
legal out
It's
there, right?
nice. Yeah, it's cool. Seattle people
That's
are cool.
Oh, I've never
I
been.
recommend Seattle. How about? I hope you stay there for a couple days.
We because every time we go places, we don't have enough time to spend in
Explore
the
the city.
So
Yeah, you want to
That's
do like
a-
the 40 hours. So this is going to be the future for you guys a little bit. These live shows.
Yeah.
Get out, meet the people.
get out tour the country. Then we probably do international. We got some shows in
Do you
Lebanon
structure
and
the live
Chad
shows?
and,
Slovenia? Nah, not at all.
Do we what?
I mean, by
It's all,
structure,
you know, like do you structure it like, all right, first 15 minutes we're doing this, second 15.
Oh, we just it's just we do the intro, then we just kind of like wild for about an hour.
It's like a
60
double
minutes, and then we
stand-up show.
have a question. We have a question and answer at the end. That's like the only structure we have. But other than that, no. We were
That's
thinking
got to
about,
be funny.
it's like avant-garde jazz, man.
Yeah.
It's funny because if you go out there without a game plan, like the crowd kind of helps you. Because
Yeah.
like say we come here, we're like, oh, we're gonna do like rice-a-roni jokes in San Francisco. It's just like they're like, the fuck out of here, we don't eat
Fuck outta
rice-a-roni.
here.
So then it turns into a whoa, what
Well,
kind
what
of
do
rice?
y'all eat?
And then they're like, oh, you have to go get rice from Paul's on Market Street. And someone else was like, the best rice is over on 3rd. And you're just sitting there and just having art. And you're like, all right, well.
It's part of that whole like thing that we do that's like a hangout. You know what I mean? So it's like it's interactive. Like
I
we're
want to
not,
be
like-
in one. I want to invite myself on one
Come
of these live
down.
shows.
You're always welcome, man.
I want to come on one of them.
That's how unstructured we are. That you could literally just show up and be like, "Yo, I'm not like text was."
No, not
Yeah,
even like
yeah.
not even Texas. Like you could literally just walk on
Walk
stage,
on
as
stage
we're
and be like,
performing,
"Hey, I'm
and we're
here."
like, oh shit, Bill.
I've done that with Corolla a couple times where because he does the same thing. They're pretty much unstructured,
Yeah.
but the crowd gets it, so they'll ride when there's like a couple little blips along the way because they know like it'll hit the right spots.
Right.
It's good.
If
fun.
you
I
would've
don't have the
showed
talent
up-
to do that.
We did the 2 shows in Boston.
Oh my God.
If you would have walked out
Ooh.
from behind stage,
Oh, how
at the
was that?
Boston
Were they
show,
nice to you?
Oh, so good.
I came
Our
out there
best shows are always.
in the Busy Bee New York Yankees like
Oh,
half
yeah.
zip thing.
So we come out and the lights come on and everyone's cheering and they see his outfit and they just start booing. us.
Yes.
Just you would thought we were like pitching Game 7 at Yankee Stadium. They are just flaming him and he's just like, yeah.
Yeah,
And
bring
the
it in,
crowd
give
are-
me it.
They're going louder and louder. But the game we played was after, was it Game 7 Celtics Philly?
Yeah, or game 5. Yeah.
Game 5. So our show was an hour after that game. So it was
Shit, we were in Boston the same night. I
it
didn't
was
even
hit or
realize.
miss because I
Fuck.
remember like they almost lost in the confetti and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And so I'm sitting there watching the game. I'm like, if they lose this game,
Yeah.
we are going to get hell tonight. Like, and if they lose that game and you came out in that Yankee outfit, we did not leave Boston alive that night. But they won, and
You
know
might
what?
as well would have came out with Ben Simmons and fared better.
But everyone is so happy the rivalry's back. It's
Oh, yeah.
It's just this is fun.
it's fun.
We're
It's
back,
just fun.
baby.
It's fun,
Yeah.
and it's like baseball needs little things like that. Like baseball, I love the game and everything, but sometimes you're just
Yeah, it's
sitting there
fucking
just
boring.
like, Jesus Christ.
If you're
it's
20
boring.
years old, you're like, yo, this is boring as shit. But like if there's drama, then it's just like, oh, I got a reason to watch this. You know, what I
My
mean?
son
Like,
will only watch like the last 2 innings with me.
yeah.
yeah,
He's like, I'll
same.
come back for the 8th inning.
Yeah, same. Like
Almost
my
every-
son,
Bad side for baseball.
yeah, my son
Almost
is
every
7
girl
years
I've
old. He'll
ever
sit down
dated-
and be like,
Oh, this is a good. I forgot to ask you about Fortnite because that's all.
Oh, yeah.
We had to take it away from my son because he was.
Was
it
he playing
actually
too much
starting-
or was he buying stuff?
Both.
Wow.
But he was
Same,
starting to. He was get mad when he's he's 10 and he's pissed off because somebody shot him in Fortnite, and then he's going to school, and it's like he's going to school pissed off. It's like, this probably isn't good. Right?
Good. Yeah. No, it's funny because my son is 7
Yeah.
My wife was like, he shouldn't be playing
early.
this. He shouldn't be playing this. It's a violent video game. And he's like killing somebody with a pickaxe because he doesn't have a gun yet. And I'm just like, yo, get him. Just keep walking in a circle. Keep going in a circle. Keep going in a circle. He can't hit you. And he just killed the guy with a pickaxe, and I was like, yeah. And I high-fived him. And my wife was just like, you're ruining our
This
children.
is terrible.
My friend's son ran up $470 on in-app purchases on Fortnite.
Ooh.
I got a
that's
call.
to me, that's a parental
That's a
fault.
parental
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That's a,
That sounds like you don't want to do what
You didn't check the red box.
Yeah.
No,
You know
you
what it
didn't,
was?
it's very easy to
You
control
got to
that.
set up the parental control.
You set
I never
up-
did it because the Xbox was my thing.
Well, you
But then
also
f-
make it so that you have to put the password
Password
in
in.
every time they buy something.
Right.
And
I
they
didn't
don't
do
know
that.
the password. That's it. They're not buying anything.
To me, I have no kid. I'm like, they can buy stuff?
Yeah.
What? Kids
Yeah.
can do what?
Yeah,
No.
it's wild because the Xbox was my domain. Like I got the Nintendo Switch, I was like, yo, this is your guys' thing. Here's your Super Mario, here's your Kirby, here's your whatever. The Xbox is mine.
Yeah.
All those games with the army guys on the front and the guns and like the Madden and the 2K, that's all my shit. It's on this side of the TV stand.
Now imagine you're a little
Your
kid.
stuff
Do you
is
want
on
to play
this
this
side.
little whack ass Nintendo Switch and play Mario Kart? Or do you want to play Call of Duty 5 where you could like rip out people's spines? Which
You know
one
what
looks
I'm saying?
better?
You know what I mean? I didn't realize that. As you get older, it's like, yo, I want to do the same shit my friends are doing. So his little friend got Fortnite, and he's like, Daddy, do you have Fortnite? And I was like, yeah, how did you know that? And he's like, Jaden plays Fortnite. And I was like, every badass kid is named Jaden, by the way. So he's like,
a
Jaden
great
has
name.
Fortnite. Yeah. He's like, Jaden
Except
has
for Will
Fortnite.
Swiskid.
Yeah.
You know, Fortnite
We
low
call him
key.
a badass.
Fortnite is just teaching kids architecture.
Yeah, it is.
It's a gateway drug.
And it's funny because like
Warning you.
whenever my wife comes in, I just switch over to the building mode, and I'm like, oh, we're building a
building a tower.
Yeah.
We're building a tower.
Yeah.
Somebody's head is like exploded
Yeah, it's like
behind you.
splattered. Like somebody comes jumps out of air with a shotgun.
It was very humbling for me because I was there for the entire era of video games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was there from in the late 70s playing the stupid handheld Mattel football with the
Oh,
little dots.
like the LED, whatever
all the way
LCD
through
thing.
television and Atari, and I was really good at video games, but you get older, your reflexes aren't as good.
Yeah.
And then my son and his buddy Ben Williams is over, and they're playing Fortnite. And then it's like, Dad, you play one, and I play, and I'm terrible. And
Yeah.
they're laughing at
Look
me.
at this old guy. You're
I
like,
felt like
oh,
Kendrick
shit.
Perkins. I was like, Kendrick Perkins getting taunted
I was like,
by
well,
a
you know what?
trademark.
Put on Pitfall, and we'll see
Yeah.
who sucks.
Yeah.
Street Fighter
Yeah.
2, let's go.
Yeah.
They're like, no,
I'll
I don't
get
play
the
that.
television. I'll be back.
Yeah. Put on Miss Pac-Man.
but
Let's
it
see who
was-
sucks.
I was watching this kid play
So
Fortnite,
bad.
and his mother's like, pause it and come here. She's like, you can't pause video games, Mom. She's so stupid. I was like,
Yeah.
you used to be able to. Sorry.
Yeah, kids are mean when they. Kids are, oh, Jesus.
She's like, you're so dumb. You don't know
Like,
anything. I was
like literally today before I flew out, like my kids are making me feel like an asshole because he was playing Splatoon, which is like some game where you have to like
Cover board
stuff with paint
Yeah.
and like you
yeah.
and turn into a squid and fly up this thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, can you beat this boss for me? And I was just like, yeah, of course I can. Like, I'm a video game master. I play every video game, and I couldn't do it. And he's like, the look of disappointment in his
just
face.
like- Yeah.
He's like, you suck. And then like my 4-year-old grabs it and it's just like, yo, you got to do this, and then beats it in 2 seconds. I was just like, wow.
I would have just taken the game system away from them. I was like, y'all on punishment.
So my son's in 4th grade, and it's like, it's like a real thing. If you're not playing Fortnite, you're not in the loop.
Yeah, you're not.
It's very
So
important.
we'd take it away from him for a week because we were afraid he was going to stab one of us to death or
Yeah.
something. Like
With a
it was,
pickaxe?
it was like maybe maybe take a break for this.
You just go in his room like, why are you stockpiling all this lumber? What are you doing? Are you building
like-
a trap?
We're like, Ben, you gotta stop playing Fortnite. Fuck you! It's like, okay,
all right,
cool. Hey, don't kill us.
Sorry, never mind.
So we took it away for a week. It's like, I gotta keep playing all the.
You gonna
Everyone
lose your
else is
friends.
playing.
Everybody's leveling up and I'm not.
And
Yeah.
I'm left out of the conversations,
Yeah,
and they're
it's
playing.
true.
They're having a battle royale today. And it's like, yeah, these are not real problems.
These are not real problems whatsoever.
It's good.
I went in the barbershop the other day and it's full to capacity. And I'm just like, I'm never going to get a cut. And I asked the barber, I was like, how many heads you got? Who's next? He was like, nah, they're all playing Fortnite. It's all these kids sitting around on their phone and they meet in the barbershop and they play. What? I was like, why don't y'all go steal cars or sell drugs? Go do something bad that teenagers do. What is this staying home and playing? You're being responsible.
Well, now
Maybe
there's
for-
this carrot lingering over everything, which we didn't have when you were kids, and when I like you can actually make money from this now.
Oh, yeah.
My son's like, but Dad, I'm gonna be a gamer.
I'm
someday."
gonna be an MLG.
make money
on Twitch.
going
You're gonna-
pros.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
It's
you're
wild.
not.
Like you see these tournaments and they're like legit. There's like 20,000 people there. It's
Yeah.
fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like I watched something like this Dominican guy recently like won the World Street Fighter tournament or whatever.
Wow.
And I was just like, wow.
Big
guy
win
from
for the
DR.
Dominicans.
Yeah, I was like, wow, okay, cool. So like I looked more into it and I watched like YouTube video of it and it was like in a legit arena.
Yeah.
There was thousands of people there watching on this giant monitor.
This
and it
could be
was
your
just
next career move. You announce the E-League stuff.
Not touching
This would be great.
until Francesca touches
Be the
it. I need Mike
R-rated
Francesca. I need Mike Francesca to start calling esports.
Well, first of all, I think esports is bullshit.
It's very.
Hey, Mike, I got a trade in Fortnite. Hang up and listen.
Listen, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about here. Steve, give me another Diet Coke.
Have you gone on, or are you? Would he ever have you on?
We're trying to have him on.
I feel like he has no idea who we are.
No, he mentioned us.
I'm
once.
gonna work on that. I'm gonna
Someone
work
called
on it.
once and was just like,
Hey.
"Hey, you ever heard of the bodega? Desus and Mero on Viceland? They always talk about you." He hung up. He was like, "Yeah, apparently you must work for that show, and you think you're gonna use my show to get a little free promo for your show? No, not my
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
right.
bro,
I was like, what are you
how
talking?
in like he's in Mike Francesca.
I'm gonna
world.
work on him.
Have him on, and
If he came on your show,
Oh my God.
that would be the greatest half hour
Worlds
I've had in
colliding.
2018.
Let me tell you something. That if he
What would
wants,
his rainbow be?
Mike,
Oh,
Back
man.
after this.
Back after this. Back after this.
one word.
Give me another Diet Coke.
Glaybar forever.
Love Mike.
Thanks, fellas. This
Thanks
was fun
for
as
having us.
always.
Oh,
Good
man.
luck with your thing this weekend.
Thank
so
you,
much
man.
fun
All right.
anytime, man. We do this all night.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks to Andy Samberg. Thanks to Desus and Mero. Thanks to nephew Kyle. Thanks to ZipRecruiter, our presenting sponsor. Don't forget to go to ZipRecruiter.com/BS. Thanks to HBO. Remember, courtside at the NBA Finals coming June 19th. You'll see emotional moments like Jalen Rose and I hugging each other like Andy and Red at the end of Shawshank. No, that's really not there. No, but we'll have some good stuff. Check it out, June 19th. The BS podcast is going to be back. Next time you hear from me, I'm going to be in Cleveland, Ohio, in some hotel room, hopefully with somebody you like.